Hey, what's up? Are we burning it up tonight?
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack.
we go. What's up, guys? Oh, Border Collies, if you see this replay, I'm not sure if you're here not live, but if you see this replay, I got your package up. It's been there for a while. I just finally went by the post office. Thank you very much. We received it. I'll give it to the boys probably tomorrow afternoon, but thank you for that.
Hey Daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome, everybody. I am Will Bird, and this is the Cold Beer Confessional. Hold on, I'm trying to hide my pickle over here. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you want to support the show, it's the links behind me. The Just Quick Tools link where you can be linked to whatever other website they'll process the payment. Leave a message. We'll read it live on air. Thank you guys for joining us. Border Collies sent the boys he was out of the country recently. So Liam's in a soccer phase, so he sent Liam a soccer jersey. And Oliver just likes interesting things that you can prove or from other places. Like if he just got like a postcard that said like fucking, you know, somewhere in Europe on it, that'd be cool. So he got him a puzzle that is from overseas, and it's like a landscape, an area from overseas. So there you go. It's pretty cool. I'll give it to him in the next couple of days. Thank you for that. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Trump's warrior bonus has been unveiled, but not before he announced the Hunger Games. I know it sounds like I said something wrong or weird or strange. Trump announced the Hunger Games. Our current president, Donald Trump, announced the Hunger Games.
We will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest high school athletes, one young man and one young woman from each state and territory.
Welcome.
One man, one male, one female from each state or territory.
In the fall, we will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest high school athletes, one young man.
And then they're going to come compete because it's America's like 250th or something.
And one young woman from each state and territory.
Welcome. The time has come to select one courageous young man and woman for the honor of representing District 12 in the 74th Annual Hunger Games.
In the fall, we will host the first.
I mean, I hope my district wins so we get food this go around, but I don't know. President Donald Trump announced Thursday the White House will host the Patriot Games, a competition with young athletes from across the country as part of the celebration of the United States' 250th anniversary next year. In the fall, we will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest high school athletes, one young man and one young woman from each state and territory, Trump said. Democrats have mocked the athletic competition online, comparing it to the Hunger Games, a dystopian young adult novel and popular movie franchise in which children are forced to fight to the death in televised arenas. The president revealed the plans for the Patriot Games in a video announcement from Freedom 250, which was launched Thursday. It's a national nonpartisan organization leading the administration's celebration of America's 250th birthday, according to their news release. Trump previously previewed the competition in July, saying at the time it would be televised and led by HHS Secretary RFK. During the video, Trump also highlighted his plans to begin construction soon on a new arch monument in the nation's capital. Have you seen Trump's arch? We are the only major place without a triumphal arc, a beautiful triumphal arc, one like in Paris, where they have the great, beautiful arc. They call it Arc de Triomphe. And we're going to have one in Washington, D.C. very soon, Trump said. A UFC fight on the South Lawn is another of Trump's ideas for the 250th celebration and will take place on his birthday, June 14th. So next year, we're having a UFC fight on the White House lawn.
We have some news right now. Donald Trump has announced that the United States will be building an Arc de Triomphe in Washington, D.C., calling it the primary thing for his domestic policy council. He was speaking at a White House Christmas party where he made this announcement. We knew that they were going to build this arch of sorts, but now he wants to build it sooner, and he wants to make it a primary focus for his domestic policy council. He called it a...
The fact that he's just slapping his name on everything, too, tells me he's really, really, really concerned with his legacy. He has to know that eventually somebody will win and expose everything he's done and how horrible it was. So, like him throwing his name up on the Kennedy Center, the Trump Kennedy Center,
a policy issue, even though policy issues like healthcare, for example, with Affordable Care Act subsidies expiring in just 17 days, that's not the primary thing, I guess. The Arc de Triomphe, whatever it becomes, will be probably built using taxpayer dollars because it'll be somewhat of a monument near Lincoln Memorial and the Arlington National Cemetery. He wants to mimic it off of the arch in Paris. And so here we are. That is what the President of the United States is focusing on at this hour. I'll provide you more updates as...
Actually, yes. So Trump's media group that manages True Social is partnering with a fusion company, a nuclear company, to bring in a nuclear power plant, which is weird because his own administration and Department of Energy just published a guideline for bringing nuclear power plants to the U.S. and how they're going to focus and how they're going to work, and he's partnered with that. So he's got Trump prescriptions, Trump media, Trump. He's bought all these positions in all these other countries. He's got cryptocurrency, and now he's going into nuclear power production.
Here we are. That is what the President of the United States is focusing on at this hour. I'll provide you more updates as we get more information. Spread the word. Follow along, stay up to date on all the news that you need to know about. I will have much more to come soon. We have some...
On Flag Day, we will have a one-of-a-kind UFC event here at the White House. It would be the greatest champion fighters in the world, all fighting that same night. The great Dana White is hosting, and it's going to be something special, Trump said. Trump has long touted his desire to shape the nation's 250th celebrations. In the past year, the Trump administration has moved quickly to align federal funding with the president's anniversary priorities, and agencies have followed suit. Doesn't it kind of feel like the let them eat cake moments? Like, I get it. 250 is a big deal, right? 250th birthday, and yeah, that's awesome. But we can't afford anything. And we've got to watch them build golden arches in the Capitol or pay gladiators to fight for their entertainment. Department of Agriculture, for instance, has embraced the president's Great American State Fair initiative. The idea was first floated by Trump on the campaign trail in 2023, and it asked states to compete to have their fair chosen by Trump as the most patriotic. Meanwhile, the White House is conducting a sweeping review of the Smithsonian Institute and has demanded the 250th content at the nation's largest museum complex renews national pride. So they're demanding the Smithsonian to make sure everything they've got displayed renews national pride. Like, how fucking crazy, dude. And then what I was talking about, the fusion company earlier, Trump Media and Technology Group, TMTG, on Thursday announced a $6 billion merger with a nuclear fusion company, TAE Technologies, forming a partnership between President Donald Trump's media firm and the Next Generation Energy Production Company. Via his trust, Trump is TMTG's largest stakeholder. The trust is managed by his son, Donald Trump Jr. Shares of Trump Media, the parent company of Truth Social, soared 35% early in trading on Thursday. Nuclear fusion. Honestly, it sounds fucked up to say, but right now the best investment that you could make with your money, if it's just sitting in a savings account, is to put it into Trump shit. Put it into stocks for Truth Media. Nuclear fusion generates energy by combining atoms, the same process which the sun creates energy using fuel sources that are plentiful and easily accessible and that are not expected to produce high activity or long-lived nuclear waste. While fusion has been achieved on Earth, the technology does not yet work at commercial scale, and there are no commercial fusion reactors currently in use, although Wednesday's announcement states that TAE has built and safely operated 5 fusion reactors. Those reactors are research devices that are part of the company's efforts to achieve commercial scale fusion. Many experts are also skeptical that fusion reactors will be a viable energy source anytime soon. Fusion has garnered increased interest in recent years due to an enormous energy demand spurred by artificial intelligence. Google, which offers an AI chatbot Gemini, is among the investors in TAE Technologies. Devin Nunes, the chair and CEO of TMTG, will serve as a co-CEO of the merged company alongside TAE CEO David Michael Binderbauer. The announcement said the merged company will feature a nine-member board of directors, including Nunes, Binderbauer, and Trump Jr., according to his announcement. By the way, you guys remember when Hunter Biden, with all of his college education, all of his degrees, and all the places he's worked for, was never qualified to sit on the board of a company that did energy. But now Donald Trump Jr. is on every board that wants a government contract under Trump. It's kind of wild. Even if you say, well, he's qualified, why is he sitting on 58 boards? How could he possibly be putting work in for 73 companies? You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. Trump Media and Technology Group built uncancelable infrastructure to secure free expression online for Americans, and now we're taking a big step forward towards a revolutionary technology that will cement America's global energy dominance for generations, Nunes said in a statement. Under the terms of the agreement, shareholders of TMTG and TAE Technologies would each own about half of the combined company after the deal closes, which is expected to happen by the middle of next year, the announcement said. The merged company aims to begin construction on the first utility-scale nuclear fusion power plant in 2026. Kind of wild, huh? So this is fusion versus fission. Fission is the splitting of heavy atoms to release energy. Fusion is combining light atoms like hydrogen. It's what powers the sun and the stars, and it's still experimental stages for power generation. But they claim they can do it, and Trump's part of it, I guess. Let's see. I'm sure somebody covered this. Hold on.
A new deal involving the president's company would combine nuclear fusion with social media and crypto, creating one of the first publicly traded nuclear fusion companies.
Trump Media and Technology has plans to merge with TAE Technologies in a deal that the companies say is valued at more than $6 billion.
This is an all-stock deal, and it's expected to close in mid-2026. Shareholders of each of the companies will own about half of the combined company.
A new deal involving the president's company would combine nuclear fusion with social media and crypto, creating one of the first publicly traded nuclear.
Conflict of interest much? No.
forces. Trump Media, the company behind Truth Social, plans to merge with TAE Technologies. Backed by Google's parent company, TAE focuses on nuclear fusion.
The whole idea is they release energy, and this energy is so huge that it is...
Let's see. From December 17th, yesterday, the stock was trading at 1047. Today it's at 15, almost 15, 1486.
Going to cover what is needed by the AI.
And SJSU tech expert Ahmed Benafa said it's critical that the U.S. stays ahead in AI technology.
The future is in AI, and the future is with AI. And if you are not using it or making it or selling AI,
I hope this company's scamming his fucking brains out, dude.
then you're going to miss the train.
The two companies plan to build what they call the world's first utility-scale fusion plant.
One of the biggest problems we are facing in this revolution of AI is they need a lot of power.
The deal is worth more than $6 billion. TAE is a private company, and the merger with Trump Media would create one of the first publicly traded nuclear fusion companies. President Trump is the largest stakeholder in Trump Media, something Menlo College political science professor Dr. Melissa Michelson said could raise constitutional and legal concerns.
Clause in the Constitution that says pretty clearly that the president is not supposed to profit from his position. And so any hints that the deals that he is making are helping him or his family members.
God damn it. We got to do something in midterms.
Bring up questions of constitutionality and can affect how he's viewed by the public.
So in May of 2025, President Trump issued an executive orders to fast-track America's nuclear power growth, directing the Department of Energy to create pilot programs for testing advanced reactors outside of national labs, streamline approvals, and provide fuel for AI-powered nuclear projects, aiming to quickly get new designs operational with an emphasis on speed and removing regulatory hurdles. Though this push for rapid deployment has raised safety concerns. I'm all for all of that. I think we should be using nuclear power plants. I've worked in nuclear fission plants, refueling and shit like that. I don't think that we should rush anything that has to do with safety or approvals or environmental, right? That we should just have a regular, it shouldn't be so covered in red tape, no one ever looks at it, or it's impossible to open a plant. But it also shouldn't be like, fuck this species and fuck the people downstream, and you know what I mean? But the president and his company shouldn't be allowed to do this. Holy fuck. Imagine he was building a brick wall on the border, and suddenly he announces that he wants the Department of Homeland Security to look in building a brick wall on the entire Mexican border. Then he opens a brick company. And then that brick company signs with a mason company. And suddenly they're picked for the contract to build. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Bring up questions of constitutionality and can affect how he's viewed by the public.
The company says the merger is expected to close in 2026. They also hope to start construction around the same time. In San Francisco, Zach Fuentes, ABC 7 News. A joining of forces. Trump Media, the company behind Truth Social, plans to merge with TAE.
Breaking news. President Trump's social media company is about to undergo one of the strangest corporate pivots in modern business history.
And why is it social? It's a social media company. Why is it?
Media and Technology Group, the parent company of Truth Social, announced this morning that it plans to merge with a nuclear fusion company in an all-stock deal valued at more than $6 billion. If completed, the merger would totally transform Trump Media, a company built around social media and cryptocurrency, into one of the world's first publicly traded nuclear fusion companies. Trump Media is best known as the owner of Truth Social, the platform that has struggled to attract users beyond serving as President Trump's primary online megaphone. The company's stock has fallen roughly 70% this year before news of the merger broke, and the announcement briefly revived investor enthusiasm, with Trump shares jumping 25% in pre-market trading following the news. Now, President Trump is the company's largest shareholder, holding just over 50% of the stock through a trust managed by his eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., who also sits on the company's board.
Listen to this. As these companies prepare to test their designs, their path is now being helped by the executive order that Trump signed on the day he met with nation's nuclear executives. The order explicitly placed all oversight of commercial test reactors with the Department of Energy. And it required Energy Secretary Chris Wright to approve at least 3 reactors pursuant to this pilot program with the goal of achieving criticality criticality. There we go. Criticality in each of the 3 reactors by July 4th, 2026. So he put his guy in charge of overseeing everything. And then he told it, like, even if everything was shit, even if everything's falling apart, even if it's emitting radiation like crazy, even if it barely fucking works, even if it doesn't work, the guy's been mandated he must approve 3 designs. Not, we're not there yet. We got to still work on it. He must approve at least 3 reactors. This past June, with the deadline for building 3 new nuclear reactors looming a little over a year away, Energy Department officials in charge of the reactor pilot program met with the heads of companies in Washington, D.C. Right from the start, it was clear that, unlike the slow and deliberate safety culture that has dominated nuclear power for decades, this new program would be all about speed. Our job is to make sure that the government is no longer a barrier, said Seth Cohen, a lawyer at the Department of Energy responsible for implementing Trump's executive orders. Cohen said the officials responsible for overseeing safety would do whatever we need to ensure that the government is not stopping you from reaching your nuclear goals on or before July 4th. So the people in charge of looking out for the safety said, we'll do whatever we can. No, we will not be a barrier for you getting there.
Trump himself has not yet commented on the deal on Truth Social, but the merger partner TAE Technologies is a long-running nuclear...
By the way, this people think, oh, the Department of Energy, that's like who always regulates this. No. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission did this. That was their job. It was set up in the 70s by Congress as an independent safety watchdog, outside of political pressures and appointing independent. Because it was before the Department of Energy, and it was we had the Atomic Energy Commission, and at the time the Atomic Energy Commission oversaw both safety and promotion safety and promotion of nuclear power plants, right? So you have one entity that promotes it and says, we need this, we need to get these politicians on board, we need more money, we need more funding, we got to get these going. And then you had another agency, separate, well, it didn't used to be, before the early 70s, they were together. So the same people that are trying to get this implemented are in charge of all the safety regulations. That doesn't make a good pair. Why? Because they'll look the other way to get it implemented. So we come up with the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, and they're separate. They only do safety. While these other guys are trying to buy off politicians and make promises and build plants and get companies interested in blah, blah, blah. Separately, you have a safety, an independent agency. It's like, hey, is this safe? Is it safe? Is it not safe? And here's how we test it. But Trump's like, fuck that. We're putting it all back under one barrel. In one barrel, under one roof. And the same people that are literally tasked with making this happen are like, fuck it, we'll make sure safety's not an issue.
Fusion startup backed by major players, including Google, Chevron, and Goldman Sachs, according to company disclosures. Fusion energy remains experimental, but is widely viewed as a potential clean energy breakthrough, particularly attractive to tech companies racing to power energy-hungry AI data centers.
It's just crazy, dude.
Context that is key. The deal would place a Trump-owned company in direct competition with firms seeking to profit from the AI energy boom, a development that is already expected to draw regulatory and ethical scrutiny. Fusion power has never been commercially deployed at scale. Trump media, meanwhile, has no experience in energy, nuclear science, or advanced engineering. What this merger represents is not an expansion, but rather a complete reinvention. A struggling social media company tied to a sitting president is attempting to leap into one of the most complex, speculative, and capital-intensive industries on Earth. So whether this becomes a historic innovation or a warning sign remains to be seen. Breaking news, President...
Insane, dude. Fucking... And then put a plaque out called the goddamn, about the Biden crime family under Joe Biden's picture. There definitely is a crime family, and it's in the White House currently, 100%. What about the warrior bonus? Wasn't that good? Well, sorta. This money was already laid out. Trump didn't invent this. Trump didn't come up with this. Trump had nothing to do with this. This money that they're tapping into to give everybody a bonus was supposed to go to all soldiers, I think it was 06 and below, that were getting basic allowance for housing, BAH. Basically, that means if you live off post and pay rent, like you don't live in barracks, they knew that rent was getting bad for soldiers to afford. So they're going to take this money, sprinkle it out over your monthly payments, and only soldiers getting BAH would need this, because if you live on barracks, you don't pay rent, right? If you live on post. This is for people who lived out in the city in rental homes because you have a family or you got enough rank or whatever. You lived outside and paid rent. And instead, this guy doesn't have it all accurate either. This was early on in the day. Instead, they're doing it every soldier, regardless of BAH, and they're giving it to them in one lump sum and still not fixing the problem that soldiers can't afford rents just because he wanted to slap his name on it.
Donald Trump's warrior dividend is just another lie. It's not coming from tariffs. The 2.9...
But it was all passed under the big, beautiful bill. $2.9 billion or whatever. It was all passed under the big, beautiful bill.
$1 billion that it's going to cost. Well, it had already been appropriated by Congress. It was supposed to go to pay for housing. That's the truth of it. It was an additional stipend from Congress to members of...
The fact that he told everybody it was because of his tariffs? We made so much money with tariffs, we're giving out warrior bonuses. That's just a lie, an outright lie.
The military who live in contracted base housing or civilian houses off base to help them pay increases in rent, in utilities, and everything associated with renting a house. Now, if you live in a barracks and you're in the military, you're not getting this.
Now, that's not true. This is early on when it first came out. The original, what Congress set out to do with this $2.9 billion, if you lived in barracks, you wouldn't be getting this, right? If you're a single soldier, live on post, you don't pay rent anyways, and all your meals are free too on post. So, like, you weren't going to get this. But now it seems like they are. Everybody's going to get this. As long as you meet the prerequisite, which means you had active duty time up until like November 30th of this year, and whatever. You had an active duty service period up to November 30th of this year, and some people's already got it in their bank account. One of the guys I'm friends with on Facebook already has it. It's already went into his bank account. It's tax-free, but it was supposed to help with rent. I mean, I guess you could say, well, they need a bigger bonus. It's just weird that he wanted to slap his name on it, call it the warrior bonus, and then lie about where it came from. Which isn't strange now that we're being told that there's all these memos and directions going out to Republican lawmakers telling them to do whatever the fuck they can to distract from the Epstein files coming out tomorrow.
It's not for all active duty members. It's for 06s and below who get BAH. So, everybody's not getting bought off. Everybody's not getting a $1,776 check. $2.9 billion had already been set aside by Congress. None of this
06s and below would be a full bird colonel, a colonel and below.
Is coming from tariffs. Donald Trump just decided with Pete Hegseth that instead of paying it out month by month to actually help with rising costs, they were going to do it in a lump sum in January. Donald Trump's warrior dividend is just another lie.
Very weird. You can argue, like, why not give them a bonus, I guess, but the money was supposed to help with, like, I think it would, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, we could use the bonus. It's Christmas time right now, and I'm sure they could. I think the money would have made a bigger difference had it been split just between the soldiers with a housing allowance and sprinkled out every month for them to afford their rent. But whatever. Also, TikTok is apparently selling now. now.
Breaking news right now, TikTok has signed the deal to sell the U.S. portion of the business to a group of U.S.-based investors. This is according to a memo that CNN obtained from the TikTok CEO, Shou Chu, who
I think we just passed another deadline. The last deadline was like a couple days ago.
Distributed it to TikTok employees. Now, the deal hasn't been finalized. There's still a lot of stuff to work out, but it is just the step in the Donald Trump-backed deal to keep TikTok operating in the U.S. Now, there's a lot of...
Okay, yeah, the deadline was December 16th, but it's extended again. They just keep extending it to January 23rd. Oracle, Silver Lake, and MGX are going to come together and buy it, and ByteDance, the original owner, is still going to own a percentage, but I think it was like 15% or less.
What will happen to our data? Why are they pushing for it? How much is this going to change? Is it going to just become another propaganda machine for the right wing of the political parties in this country? But right now, we finally have confirmation from TikTok that they've agreed to the terms of the deal, at least. Now, the deal hasn't gone through, and it probably, as with all things related to Donald Trump and China, is tentative. So we'll still have to wait and see. But TikTok has finally confirmed that they've agreed to terms of the deal. Breaking news right now.
In a memo to employees, TikTok CEO Shou Chu said Thursday the long-awaited creation of a joint venture to oversee the U.S. part of the China-based video platform is about to close. The JV will take effect on January 22nd, Chu said. Axios first reported on the memo, whose contents were confirmed to deadline by a person familiar with the separation process. The transaction set in motion by a congressional order that survived an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court will force China's ByteDance to sell the U.S. operations of TikTok to a new mix of investors. About 20% of the U.S. entity will continue to be owned by, 20% by ByteDance, and another third by affiliates of existing investors. The remaining 45% will be owned by tech giant Oracle, private equity firm Silver Lake, and Abu Dhabi's government-backed investment firm MGX. The Oracle component could be notable in Hollywood given the ties between the company's co-founder, Larry Ellison, and Paramount Skydance. His son, David Ellison, is CEO, and the elder Ellison is backer of the company's bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. While execs have publicly declined to address it, some industry watchers have speculated that Paramount could make the most of that connection in order to supercharge its offerings to better compete with the tech giants. Political officials have raised national security concerns of the video platform since Donald Trump's first administration. In 2020, Trump threatened to ban the app unless it was sold to U.S.-based owner. When Joe Biden took off, legal pushback from TikTok on the Trump ban succeeded in winning a years-long stay, but the issue bubbled up again by 2024. Trump in his current term switched to a more supportive stance given the support he received via TikTok in the election. The current strategy has been essentially to recapitalize it. Though the all-powerful algorithm cannot be walled off from the Chinese headquarters. For that and other reasons, the use of the word sale to describe the TikTok deal has drawn objections from the company as well as from some observers from the tech, media, and political spheres. Since taking office again in January, Trump has continued to revise the deadline for a deal to break up the U.S. portion of TikTok. As its political battles were being waged, TikTok as a business has continued growing, and the company hosted a splashy presentation to advertisers during the New Fronts in the spring. Cartoon Weiss, head of the North American ad sales, sought to tamp down speculation at the time about the app being forced to shut down. We are absolutely confident in our platform and confident in the future of this platform, she told New Fronts attendees. So we're going to continue to invest in it. So there you go. TikTok, Oracle. Oh, shit. I don't know. Everything's crazy. What about a poop knife?
My family of 6 has a poop knife. Keep it in our vinegar bucket with our xylospongiums. If you don't know what a xylospongium is, this is what you wipe with instead of toilet paper. The wetness is
Howard Lutnick's firm, which is now being ran by his sons. It is called Cantor Fitzgerald, is buying up the rights to tariff refunds at a huge discount.
from soaking in vinegar. Every family needs a poop knife.
So they soak a stick with a sponge on it in vinegar and wipe their ass. And the poof knife is to cut up the turd so they pass easier.
We also have something extra in here.
The bare hands! You put your bare hands in it!
If you really need it, we have a sponge.
Why would you need it? The stick didn't do the job! My mom is on this app! This is why it do matter what you do on your own time! I don't care what you do on your own time! It matters what you do on your own time! And we should be caring about it!
And it just works really well.
For the magic eraser! God!
My family of 6 has a poop knife.
My family of 6 has a poop knife and 2 sticks to wipe your ass. Look at these sticks.
A vinegar bucket with our xylospongium.
A vinegar bucket. Does she think that vinegar just disinfects everything? Look at
If
these.
you don't know what a xylospongium is, this is
It's a stick with a sponge soaked in vinegar. Let's say you don't want to use.
toilet paper.
Let's say you don't want to use toilet paper. Have you never heard of a bidet? This has got to be for rage bait, right? This isn't real.
Our family of 6 has been using xylospongiums, and I've gotten a lot of questions about them, so I thought I might as well answer a few. The bigger one on the right is for number 2s. The smaller one is for number 1. We have a bucket that just has vinegar in it, and we put them in like this until the next use, so they're constantly being soaked in vinegar except for this video. On special occasions such as family get-togethers or birthdays or holidays, we use lemon water instead.
Yeah, this is bullshit. It's rage bait.
Instead of vinegar. But for the most part, we use vinegar. A lot of people are asking, will the vinegar get tainted? Will we need to swap the vinegar out? Occasionally, I feel like once every couple months is a good time to start swapping out the vinegar. But it's also up to you and how dirty your vinegar is. And also just how dirty your xylospongium
So this is what they used in ancient Rome.
gets. It really just depends. I think these should definitely get put into public restrooms. And these both go in the same vinegar. But it's also just nice to have 2. The number 2 one has been used a lot more, obviously, because look at the handle. Someone has been holding this a lot, which is good. I'm glad that we're getting our use out of our xylospongiums, which is so good. And it's made with premium rope. Oh, this is such a nice, and it's a natural sponge.
Yeah, it's rage bait. It's got to be.
We're just throwing toilet paper away. We also have a bidet. Instead of toilet paper, our
We also have a bidet. But why do you need this? This is also her Come On Superman video. Makeup reviews and saving money. I mean, it's a good way to get views, is just to say something fucking stupid.
I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. I want.
I can still meow in a cage.
It's cozy in here too.
Her parents need to be charged for neglect.
I recently decided I wanted to be a cat, and the supportive husband that I have bought me an automatic litter box to use instead of a toilet. He's also kind enough to offer to boil me some chicken and shred it for me and add a puree on top, and I'm beyond grateful to have such a supportive husband to support me through these choices. And eventually in the future, we are talking about having kids.
Oh, this is Rage Bait. Speaking of husbands, ladies, how would you act if your husband, or what would you do if your husband acted like this? Damn, why can't I find it now? What did I search earlier? Here you go. So she was dead asleep, and this is how her husband woke her up.
The dryer pile. No people doing my laundry right. No people doing my laundry right. Why is my shirt in the dryer pile? It's my favorite. Why is my good shirt in the dryer pile? My favorite. What?
So she was asleep, and he woke her up marching around, complaining about no one's doing his laundry right, and his shirt's still in the dryer pile.
Dryer pile. No people doing my laundry right. No people doing my laundry right. Why is my shirt in the dryer?
So she immediately came to, so this got a lot of hate. She immediately came to his defense. It's like, you guys don't understand. It's a joke. We joke about this all the time, and that's why he does these little tantrums, and you wouldn't get it.
Pile. It's my favorite. Why is my good shirt in the dryer pile? My favorite.
What? Somebody please tell me that this is a skit. Okay, this cannot be real. Stomping around like an angry toddler because somebody didn't do your laundry correctly? Come on, dude. If this is a problem to you, I have a solution. You want to know what it is? Come here. Do your own laundry. Like what? Like, you should be grateful that your woman did the laundry for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but she doesn't do it the way mommy used to do it. Okay, then, you need to be single and go back to your mama. This is crazy, okay? If this is real, she needs to find another.
It was real.
Okay, because she is...
But they claimed it was a joke. They should have just came out and been like, we made that video because we knew it'd piss people off. Like Rage Bait, right? But instead, they're like, oh, we act like this all the time. You guys just don't get our humor.
The dryer pile. No people doing my laundry right. No people doing my laundry right. Why is my shirt in the dryer pile? It's my favorite. Why is my good shirt in the dryer pile? My favorite. What?
Like a fucking spoiled child. Not like even like a regular child. Like a super fucking spoiled child. Insane, dude. There's something else. Oh, check this out. This guy accidentally got high and butt dialed. Oh, we're gonna watch this one too. Butt dialed the cops by accident.
We can smell marijuana. That still gives us the right to come in and search for that, okay?
Is that true? If cops smell marijuana at your house, does that give them the right to come in and search your house? Absolutely not. In fact, this is an exception for when you're in a car and they claim they smell marijuana. But even the Supreme Court has ruled, you guys remember when we covered what curtilage is? It's like the immediate area right outside your house. Like maybe you're at your porch or, you know, you're standing outside your garage. That's still considered your house as far as the law is concerned. If your car is in the curtilage of your home, they can't even use this exception. So they can do it in a car if you're driving down the road. But even if your car was in the curtilage of your home and they claim they can't use this exception. This guy's right all the way, even though he is high and kind of drunk.
No, it does. I don't have to have a warrant when I can smell it.
A man in Owensboro, Kentucky accidentally butt dialed 911 by pressing the emergency button on his iPhone's...
They're reclassifying it from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3.
lock screen. And then some of the most constitutionally ignorant cops I've ever shown on this channel arrive at the guy's front door. He tells them it was a butt dial, that he's alone in his house, that there's no emergency.
You said you're home alone, no one's there with you, and you called by accident?
But sensing something other than complete and total submission to government authority, the cops claim that they smell marijuana, they stick their foot in the door, and they detain him without a warrant.
I don't know why you're being so difficult about this.
Because I know my rights.
No, okay, and I know my rights and our rights as officers. We can smell marijuana, so we can...
Even worse than that, they tell him that they're about to come inside his house, also without a warrant, just due to the alleged smell of marijuana.
You have to be 21 to purchase that.
22.
Okay, so we need to verify that then. How about that?
Just completely disregarding long-standing and clearly established constitutional law saying that they cannot do that. So they
still gotta have a warrant. Even when the supervisor shows up, they're like, well, I could go and get a warrant right now on smell. Well, then do that. If that's what you're doing, do that. Go to a judge, tell him that I accidentally dialed 911. When you guys got here, I said, that was me. I'm fine. Nobody's here but me. And you guys claim you smell what? Go get the warrant. You can always go get a warrant. Or at least try. Go do it.
The guy asks for their supervisor, but when the supervisor shows up, he's even worse than they are.
I want to talk to you because you're the supervisor. I don't have anything to say to you.
Basically, the reclassification from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 means that it's easier to study it for like at colleges and different corporations, shit like that.
These are just basic constitutional rights that everyone needs to know in these situations. Also, people just need to see what the public is dealing with out there in certain parts of the country, entire police departments who just basically ignore our constitutional rights and then get away with it. And therefore, they continue to do it. So what can be done? Actually, you can help.
Howdy ho.
29 months. Thank you very much, Clayton Knight. Howdy ho to you as well.
So let's go through it. This footage was submitted by Xavier, who lives in Owensboro, Kentucky. He was hanging out at his house one evening, partaking and smoking what he says is a completely legal cannabis-based product, one which smells similar or the same to technically illegal cannabis itself. This is the neighborhood right here, and this is the house. Note the vehicle in the yard. That will come up later. So this is what happened. As Xavier is listening to music at home at level 11, he accidentally butt dials 911. How did he do this? You know that button on your iPhone's lock screen that says...
One of my kids did this one time while we were in bed. Oliver was real bad about coming and climbing in bed with us. He climbed in bed with us, was trying to unlock either my phone or Mariah's phone, hit the emergency thing, clicked yes, clicked are you sure yes, and dialed 911.
Emergency. There's actually a whole bunch of YouTube videos answering the question, what happens when you...
Legalizing that would be cool, but changing the schedule, I mean, that doesn't really affect a whole lot. I mean, research, yeah, sure, let's research it more. We need to at least decriminalize it, right? Nationwide.
Press that button. Well, Xavier effed around and he found out. Even though it was a mistake, the iPhone's location was pinged. Dispatch sent police officers to his home. So 2 officers with what appears to be the Owensboro, Kentucky Police Department arrive to the scene and they walk up to the home's front porch. Xavier meets them at the door. He partially opens the door, but he doesn't step outside. He also does not invite the officers in for a good reason, which you will see later.
Anybody? I'm not going to run you anything, man. I'm just going to say I talked to you and they will say to you. I don't need my name to do it, though. I don't have to give my name. You said you're home alone, no one's there with you?
So we have no idea how Trump is going to do this. So typically something like this has a public comment period, which is like a few months, right? And Biden had pitched this idea before, and the public comment period was still going on at the time for public comments. But Trump has taken away the comment, like he doesn't do the public comment periods anymore. But the public comment period should have ended maybe in January when Trump took office. So we're not exactly sure how long it'll take or what action. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. Trump does everything that in a way that he shouldn't do it.
Yeah. You called by accident?
Yeah. When I said I called, I hung up.
Okay, I know, but like, the cell phone dot hit here is what came.
Okay. I just told you I didn't mean to call.
So what were you trying to call if you didn't mean to call?
I didn't mean to call. I just accidentally hit the emergency. That's the
All right, look.
like that.
Oh, thank you.
It's hard. But I just hit the emergency call by accident, I guess, up on the lock screen.
After he explains to them that he mistakenly hit that emergency button on his lock screen and that everything was fine, that there was no emergency, the officer says, well, even though there's no...
By the way, while Trump's doing this, Tennessee's getting rid of the CBD shit. Like right now you can buy like CBD things in like gas stations and head shops and blah, blah, blah. Tennessee's getting rid of that. In 2026, it won't be allowed anymore. But then Trump's, like, we're getting mixed messages across all Republicans. Tennessee's so fucking backwards, dude. It's insane.
Emergency here. You're now required to give me your name because I can smell the smell of marijuana from inside your residence. Xavier explains that it's not marijuana, that it's a perfectly legal product, and he even offers to show it to the officer.
Oh, that's what's in this video, too. He's using the CBD stuff.
Explain why
Delta 8, Delta 9, whatever.
But the officer responded that he wasn't interested in actually investigating the source of this suspicious smell that he said he wants to investigate, but rather he...
By the way, he also signed and made fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction. But has he thought about all the implications? Like, imagine now someone shows up at a hospital with fentanyl contamination. Does the hospital now have to treat that like fucking anthrax? No, the stuff they got now, the Delta 9 and Delta 8, all the derivatives, marijuana derivatives do get you high. Like I got a buddy that just smokes regularly, and he used to drive to Virginia to buy it at one of those decriminalized shops, where basically you pay for like a card. You pay for a receipt. You tell them what you want, you pay for the receipt, then you take the receipt over here and get your weed for free by turning in the receipt. But he doesn't even do that anymore because the shit around here at the head shops and stuff it does get you high.
He just wants Xavier's name.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well here's what we're going to do right now. You're going to give us your name because I can smell the marijuana coming out of the house right now.
It's perfectly legal. It's THCA.
No, marijuana is not.
Delta 8. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not marijuana.
It smells like marijuana.
Okay. Show you.
No, we don't need to talk about that right now. But
I don't have to give my name though.
So you're going to give your name now? We can just get a search warrant for your house. We legally can come in your house right now.
We legally can come in your house now? No.
Oh, dumb. Listen, I can. This literally just THCA. Do you buy it at the store?
First, he said, we can get a search warrant for your house. But then he corrected himself.
So basically what they did to get around this law is they take the THC molecule and they change something else in it, right? They just change one molecule and then technically it's not the illegal version. So when they got rid of Delta 8, they come out with Delta 9, right? Like it's just, I don't know. It's a back and forth with these people. But Tennessee's trying to close all those loopholes.
He said, we can actually come into your house right now just because we say we smell marijuana. The officer claims that he gets to come in and search now for that product that Xavier already offered to voluntarily show him. Xavier then correctly says, no, you can't, not without a warrant. The officer then responds saying he does not have to have a warrant because he can smell it.
Listen, we can smell marijuana. Okay. So whether it's THC 8 or not, that still gives us the right to come in and search for that.
Wait, maybe Delta 9 is the marijuana version and Delta 8's the different. It doesn't matter. They just keep changing one molecule, and then technically it's different than the one that's illegal. Delta 8 THC is a psychoactive compound in cannabis that produces milder intoxicating effects similar to THC, which is Delta 9. But with less anxiety or paranoia, often described as a fuzzy high, while naturally in small amounts, most commercial Delta 8 is chemically converted from hemp derivatives like CBD, making it popular, especially where recreational marijuana is restricted, but it's largely unregulated by the FDA, raising concerns about potential contaminants like heavy metals or harmful byproducts.
Okay.
Not without a warrant.
No, it does. I don't have to have a warrant when I can smell it.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter.
It's my private property.
Yes, it does matter. It's not private property like that.
Show you what it is.
I don't care.
Okay.
All you had to do is give us your name.
They cannot come into his house.
And we were going to be. Yeah.
Now they need his name. They don't need his name.
Yes, you do now. Now that I can smell the marijuana, yes, you do.
Now that I can smell marijuana, you have to give me your name.
Xavier again offers to show the officer what he's smelling, and the officer again responds that he doesn't actually care. Then the officer takes a...
No, it does not. It's a weapon of mass destruction. Okay? Well, you think dirty nuclear bombs have a household use and need? No, they don't.
Different tack, and he says that even though the
women, man, I'm telling you,
smell could be explained by this legal product, that in order to buy that product, Xavier has to be 21 to buy it. And so now he needs to come into his house in order to verify his age that he's legal to use that product.
So I'm perfectly I was telling you, I can show you what it is. It's legal. It's part of the farm bill. It's legal.
Okay. Like I said, to me, it smells like marijuana.
And I have conditions to qualify me for
okay. You have to be 21 to purchase that.
22.
Okay. So we need to verify that then. How about that?
The officer insists.
No, he's not buying it, and you didn't catch him going into a store to buy it. That you don't have to verify his age. What the fuck out of here?
Xavier misunderstands his rights, and he doesn't appreciate the rights of the officers. He claims that it's just like a car, that if he smells marijuana in your car, he can then go search your car. He says the same goes for your house. If I smell marijuana in your house,
why do people hate cops,
and search your house?
I don't know what's so difficult about this.
Because I know my rights.
No, okay, and I know my rights and our rights as officers. We can smell marijuana, so we can legally. What's that?
I also know you're allowed to lie to me, so you could just.
Yeah, I'm allowed to lie to you, but do you not understand the law that
my uncle's
when I could? Okay, do you want to call him and ask him? Because I promise you, just like if you're driving a car and I smell marijuana in the car, I can get.
This is complete. That's why the car is an exception to this rule. Not an exception across the board. It's literally the car is the exception where they can say I smell marijuana.
Get you and I can search your car.
Yeah, because
same goes for your
driving under the influence.
Same goes for your house. If I can,
he's driving under the influence in his house.
But Xavier tells him that he doesn't want to give him his name because of the principle of it. He has the right not to do so. He brings up the fact that his uncle is a local lawyer.
Thank you, Gintegrity33, for this subscription. I appreciate it. I'm still here. I was just popping a bump.
The officer acknowledges that he knows his uncle, and then he encourages Xavier to call his uncle in order to verify that what he's telling him is.
You guys want to watch that?
He doesn't need a warrant to come into Xavier's house to search because he smells marijuana.
I just had cops the other day, and they seen weed laid out, and they didn't.
Yeah, we usually don't care, but when you're being obnoxious about it, you won't tell us your name. Okay, there's a reason.
Dude, my dad always had the biggest issue, which he had congestive heart failure and he was overweight and it was hard for him to breathe, laying flat, on his back and stuff already. But he had he would freak the fuck out coming out of anesthesia, like waking up and having something to help him breathe, while he's and he had to have all these stents and different things. And every time, dude, I've seen him fight like fucking orderlies and shit, like coming out and doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He just can't fucking breathe.
People call 911. It doesn't not just an accident usually. Okay.
Yeah, you know how in your lock screen you can hit emergency call, and it calls automatically.
Then why not just give your name and be done with it?
Because I don't have to. It's like the thing if I told you, hey, I need you to give me $1 million, you don't have to.
Okay.
No, nothing legally.
Now you're just doing hypothetically. Illegally. What's that?
Frank Mercado?
Yeah, I know who Mercado is. Okay, great.
Okay, so I'm not stupid.
Okay. And I promise you, if you ask him about what we can legally do on search and seizure.
Oh, there's an explanation. Thanks.
If I can smell it, I can articulate it. If I can see it, we can go that route as well.
And we would try to warn him, but he gets lost in the shuffle.
Shamanize just subscribed.
Shamanize. Thank you very much for the subscription. We would try to warn him, but I guess he kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Hey, he does really bad, but they would forget by the time he comes out of a surgery, several hours later or whatever. But it was never good.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's legal. And you know what?
No, I do not. I don't use THCA.
But you know what it is. Come on now.
I've never smelt it.
But you know what it is.
I think with
it's hemp. It smells the same as weed.
It does not.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It does smell the same as weed, especially to a fucking cop that doesn't use. I'm sure a regular user could be like, "Oh, that's something different," but To me and other people and a cop, it smells the same.
Here's where he's coming from is we can smell weed. It smells like weed, so we can't. We don't.
I'm not with you.
That's what he's trying to get at.
It's just like you drinking a non-alcoholic beer. It smells exactly like beer, right?
I mean, I've been drinking.
Doesn't mean you come in his house and look for beer.
Drinking too. I'm just chilling, dude.
But I don't understand why you're not just stay right there.
Why don't you just comply? You're making everything more complicated. Just comply.
Yeah, that is a million point. I know what that happens.
Now they're gonna go run his plates.
Delta 352 Central. Can you run Kentucky 159?
I'm not doing nothing illegal. You know?
Yeah, I know you're not. No one said you were. So
I know. We just in a crime, and you even just said.
There's a guy on TikTok that goes super into depth about all the weeds. Instead of talking about like indica and sativa or whatever, he talks about. I don't understand any of it, but he talks. I'm not a big smoker. I haven't been since I was in high school. But he talks about terpenes and what types of terpenes are in different types of weed.
You know I'm not doing anything illegal, so I don't have to give you my name.
Okay.
Terpenes.
I can articulate that.
Am I saying it right?
Because I can smell marijuana.
Terpenes.
But he's saying he knows I'm not doing nothing illegal.
Yeah.
I can show you what it is to show you it's not illegal.
Charles, coming back to 98.4, Martin coming to William M. Davis.
So what's the date of birth on that? OMU records and see who resides here at 2001.
Christian name.
So I don't know if you even live here right now. So
I do live here.
Okay, I don't know that because I can't prove that you.
You can't just go kicking people's doors in to see if they live there. Get the fuck out of here.
Your stepmom or your stepdad?
It's his house.
Okay. Oh, I don't know why you're being so difficult.
Dude, you're pressing me for my name when I'm telling you. You know I don't have to give my name.
Yes, you do. Whenever there is a legal matter, you have to give your name. Yes, if you were just randomly and we just come up and talk to you, no, you don't have to give your name. But when we have a legal,
no, I'm not doing anything legal.
No, we don't know that. We're trying to. He's trying to agree with you.
You don't know, but he knows. I'm not doing anything.
That's impossible it's impossible to articulate the smell of marijuana, whether it's THC 8. Or not.
Hey, but I know. I'm not trying to be smart ass. I'm just trying.
You did say you were going to show me your ID.
I will, but it's like you're just being a dick for no.
I'm not being a dick. You're the one acting like this because you just.
He's in Kentucky, so Kentucky is not a stop and ID state. Like if you're driving a car, obviously in a traffic stop, and you're the driver, you have to show license registration. But basically, short of probable cause that you've committed a crime or are already arrested, you do not have to ID.
Give us an ID.
I want you to tell me, and I'll give my ID once you tell me. If I do not have to give my ID, and you know I don't.
No, yes, you do.
Come on, dude.
There is no come on, dude. Whenever I can smell the marijuana, I can.
But your supervisor tells me that I have to give my ID, I will.
I already know you.
Legend, aren't you literally from like the fucking porta potty of the United States? I don't think you're going to talk about where anybody's from. Being from New Jersey. Holy fuck.
You have to get us your ID.
Okay, we'll call our supervisor.
You sound like Bert getting mad at the Section 8 people.
352, 307.
I said we go whatever.
No, we'll just stand right here. Can you come out here? 2001 Stonewall, please.
I mean, I got a broken hip. I ain't going to do nothing, dude.
But they won't let him leave. Won't let him step out on the porch. They call their supervisor.
Is that true? Would the uncle verify what the officer is saying? Let's hope not, because this is the most basic right that we have under the Fourth Amendment that this officer is apparently completely oblivious to. As the Supreme Court held in the 1980 case of Payton versus New York, absent valid consent or exigent circumstances, i.e. an emergency actively occurring, law enforcement may not cross the threshold of a residence without a warrant. There is no I smell weed exception to this. So even if a police officer does have probable cause to make an arrest for someone of some crime, Payton versus New York says, sorry, you have to come back with a warrant.
I don't care if my paycheck came from the state of New Jersey. Have you ever been there? Holy fuck.
Doesn't matter what you smell, what you know, you could have the most airtight case of all time for possession of marijuana or smoking marijuana in a home that has ever existed. Xavier could have admitted that he had smoked an epic amount of completely illegal weed, and this cop still could not legally arrest him without a warrant. Why? Because he is in his home. Does it matter that the home belongs to his stepdad or anyone else for that matter? No. As the Supreme Court held in the 1990 case of Minnesota versus Olson, even overnight guests have a reasonable expectation of privacy in a home that they are visiting and therefore have full Fourth Amendment protections to that home while they are visiting. That's why even hotel guests have Fourth Amendment protections to the hotel rooms that they are just renting overnight. So this officer absolutely cannot cross the threshold of Xavier's home either to arrest him or to search. Now, this may be just a poor training issue. The officer is probably confusing cars and houses, which is frankly scary. While it's true that the
it is scary.
Officer does have the ability to search a vehicle on a public roadway if he claims to smell marijuana in certain states or develops other probable cause. That is actually an exception to the general warrant requirement known as the automobile exception. But there is no such exception for the home. And in fact, even when a vehicle is parked within the curtilage of a home, even the automobile exception does not apply. As the Supreme Court held in the 2018 case of Collins versus Virginia, police cannot enter the curtilage of a home, which is the area close to the home that's treated as part of the home, such as an enclosed yard, garage, driveway, or porch, to search a vehicle parked within the curtilage of that home without a warrant, even where they have probable cause, which could be smell of marijuana. Here, the officer is adamant that if he has reasonable suspicion that a crime has occurred, i.e. smoking illegal marijuana, that he is now authorized to detain Xavier and search him and his surroundings.
Can you pump your own gas yet in New Jersey?
Not only is this officer mistaken in belief that he gets to enter the house and search, but he's also mistaken that he even has the right to stand on the home's front porch and attempt to gather
I thought I was being scammed the first time I was there.
Which he was doing by looking around, by smelling, by asking questions. He doesn't. Kentucky is in the 6th Federal Circuit, so other than Supreme Court case law, you'd look there next for applicable case law on federal constitutional rights. In the 6th Circuit case Morgan versus Fairfield County in 2018, the court held that police violate the Fourth Amendment when they physically intrude into a home's curtilage to search for evidence without a warrant, even where they have a reasonable suspicion that a crime has occurred. In fact, the whole concept of the curtilage of a home being protected came from a Florida case, Florida versus Jardines, where cops brought this drug dog onto a guy's front porch to sniff for drugs. The Supreme Court said that's a search.
Like they would do at a car, right?
And you can't just go sniff for drugs on a home's front porch without a warrant, because that's basically like...
Well, when I was there, they would not let me. They're just like, no, you can't. We have to.
Part of the home. But what if...
Maybe I just got a bad guy. I don't know.
Illegal. What if you smell marijuana? Surely the Supreme Court is wrong. Even way back in 1961, the Supreme Court said, we don't care. Go get a warrant. In the 1961 case of Chapman versus United States, cops suspected this guy was operating a moonshine still in his house that he was renting. They could smell the mash, so they went and they got a search warrant, right? Because they could smell it. No. They didn't. They actually contacted the landlord to get permission from the landlord to enter, which they did. The Supreme Court said, no, it doesn't matter what you smelled. You needed to get a warrant to enter. And the landlord cannot give you permission to bypass the warrant requirement, and the landlord cannot give you permission to bypass getting a warrant. In other words, this ignorant cop couldn't be more wrong about what he thinks he's talking about. He has no right to even be standing on this man's porch and questioning him, threatening him, and so on. He has to leave and either come...
I've worked in New Jersey probably less than 10 times. More than 5 times, less than 10 times probably. All of it centered kind of around Newark.
Back with a warrant, or don't come back with a warrant.
That's not true. Lakeview, Lakewood, Lake something as well.
On Xavier's Lakewood illegally forces Xavier to provide him with his ID, which he does. Then this officer promptly begins to use that ID against him, thus answering his own question about why a citizen would not want to provide their ID to a police officer, because that police officer is then going to run their criminal history, look for anything that they possibly can find to arrest them, to jam them up, and otherwise go on a fishing expedition. Here, the officer uses Xavier's ID to try to jam him up on other charges, including something as petty as not updating the address on his ID.
And then it's kind of...
So they can't get him on anything. They're like, well, you haven't updated your address on your ID.
I thought you're trying to be...
I can write you a ticket right now.
You get my name, you're not.
Okay. And you're trying to be smart saying that because we can smell weed that we can't identify it.
For you. I just,
you're right, you didn't.
You didn't. I knew I accidentally found out once. I was like, the other part for that, let me just tell me it was an accident. And then you're pressing me for my name.
Okay.
Because you smell weed.
Yes, we smell weed.
You're assuming it's illegal, but I'm telling you it's not. And he even said...
So I'm assuming you're a legal citizen, but you could be a felon. So you could have a warrant.
In order for you to possess it legally, I tell you the reasons for it. For you to have it legal.
You could be a felon. Prove you're not.
You gotta have a doctor's note. That's if I'm like traveling with it though. Like in order to actually like have it medically for Kentucky for medical. That's medical marijuana. I was saying medical marijuana. I was saying you had to have it for medical marijuana. I was trying to explain.
So it's just like if I saw you with a cigarette, guess what? You gotta be 21 to have a cigarette. So if I come up and ask you for your ID,
purchase cigarettes.
You gotta be 21 to possess them.
So they changed the law.
Okay. So you don't know everything. I know you don't know everything. So it's the same thing. If I come up to a person and they have a cigarette, I can ask if I think they're underage. I can ask them for their ID and they have to provide it.
Is your supervisor coming?
Yeah, he's coming. It'll be a couple minutes. So where are the homeowners at?
I mean, I kind of do on homes.
What do you say it's your stepmom and stepdad's?
No, it's my stepdad's name, but it's... You said your stepdad? No, my stepdad. I'm sorry, my dad. It's my dad's name. It's his name, but it's my house. I live here.
Okay. And then how can you prove you live here?
I don't really have to.
What's that?
You think I don't live here?
I don't have to. What's that?
I'm just curious.
My dad will confirm for you?
I'm just asking a question. I mean, you said you live here, but nothing's in your name. So that's why I'm wondering. I'm like, well,
my address on my ID ain't here either. It's got multiple places I use.
Oh, okay.
So again, how would he even change his? If he had to change that, how would he change his ID? The house and all utilities and everything is in his dad's name. How would he change his ID to this place? He couldn't. They take utility bills and shit in.
28.
I'm gonna come outside because I don't want you to send them.
William Davis, January 12, 2019.
Yeah, you can't shut the door right now.
You can't. I'm coming outside.
We're gonna
So he wants to come outside and shut the door. The cop won't let him and puts his foot in front of it.
hang tight right here.
You get your foot out my door. Technically, you're inside my house right now. You know you ain't close to me.
No, that's
breaking a threshold.
That's not right. Because I can do this so you cannot shut the door on me. Okay.
But I can come out the door.
We're just gonna stay right here. Because I can see all this area right here, and if you shut the door, I can't see if somebody comes walking out of a room or anything. I don't know that.
Okay, but it doesn't matter.
Cops are fucking terrified, dude. Well, I can't see through the door and behind around the corner then.
I'm telling you guys.
Okay.
If I don't want you in my house, you can't be in my house, dude.
This is not violating your rights of somebody.
To be fair, in most of these like small Owensburg, I think's where this was, most of these small like police departments, this video probably gets more done than filing a complaint.
Your house.
Okay, your son's over my floor, so technically you're in my house.
Technically, right now.
That's fine.
Do that.
You know it is. You try to run my truck, which you ain't supposed to run my truck.
No, I can legally run your truck because you can't park it in your yard even.
Yes, I can.
You can't park your truck in your own yard in Owensburg, Kentucky. Bullshit, dude.
It's a safety ordinance. Jesus, yes. I mean, I don't know why you think if you're
an actual driveway at all. Even you can see actual driveway.
It's a gravel driveway. It's a gravel driveway.
So what's the difference between on gravel and grass?
Talk to the dude. We don't make the city ordinance. Okay.
You know what I mean? Ticket for that?
I could, and I could write you a ticket for not updating your license.
I don't need a one. I still use the address. 3127 Baby Street. That's my name.
You tell me you live here.
I live here and go there. So my mom.
Okay.
By law, so I get mail at all three addresses.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. If I get mail there, I can use my address and my license.
Okay, dude.
If I couldn't, you would give me a ticket for it.
I'm not gonna give you a ticket for it. It's petty. I could, yes. You done told me you live here.
I do. I live with my dad.
So it is technically you can't park in grass in front yards for long-term storage or in ways that obstruct views of driveways. He's trying to get him on anything now.
Moms, I live right there.
Okay, man. Sounds like you sat around the table and heard a little bit of the law. What Frank told you?
It literally says parking of any motor vehicle for more than 24 hours upon any surface not intended to use for vehicular parking spaces.
But
my lawyer's Chris Rhodes.
You said your uncle's Frank, so I'm sure you've heard of him talk.
I mean,
so then it makes you think that you know all this stuff, but you don't.
Pretty simple. I know my rights.
Okay, obviously.
I do. I'm trying to violate. I'm
not trying to violate.
ID. I don't. Or you my name. I don't.
Okay.
You articulate. I'm familiar trying to do my name.
The smell of marijuana is articulable.
And you know that's legal. So ends that one right there.
No, it's not.
People know this.
What I just told you about.
You go get around that smoking in front of you. You can't do nothing at all. I'm trying to be petty in this town.
Okay.
That's right.
You think it's weed?
When's the last time you mowed this yard? I could get out a ruler.
No, I absolutely do not. Usually I don't even care about it. If you would have given us your name, I would have smelled the weed. I wouldn't have cared.
They didn't give it down.
So what's happening in this video might as well be occurring in some third world country or authoritarian regime somewhere, because federal constitutional protections that were won by our forefathers 250 years ago were actually meaningless here in Owensboro, Kentucky in January of 2024, because the Owensboro Police Department is either just that dumb or intentionally tyrannical. And nobody did in fact stop them. There was no accountability for this at all. The reason for this will be clear when you meet the officer's supervisor arriving shortly.
Let Officer Hurt explain to him what's going on.
Hey, Sarge. All right, so got some legal questions here.
It was literally a video of a guy that his grass had died. I guess something happened to his sprinklers or whatever, and a portion of his grass had died. So that the homeowners association was going to fine him, and he had to go out there and paint his grass.
I want to call here, knock on the door. He opens it, starts talking to us. We asked him to identify himself. We can smell odor of marijuana coming from the house. He just says, "No, I'm not giving you my name. I'm not doing anything." Okay.
Now this is their supervisor. He's also wrong.
So we told him we have to give us your name. Yeah.
He's the one like, I can get a warrant right now. Then do it, bruh.
He just kept refusing, and we eventually found it because there was a call here the other night. So we're good. He's good. He's clear.
You don't have any warrants?
No. But
won't be uncooperative? I'm not being uncooperative. I just know my rights. I don't have to get my name. I'm not doing nothing illegal. Well, technically, if we could get a search warrant for your house and come in and seize whatever evidence we find. You search warrant just for the smell of weed? I just literally got one on Christmas Day. Yep. Not a week ago. Maybe a gram and a half of. Yeah, no. I'm just letting you know. I'm saying, like, I told him it was legal. I told him it's him. It's part of the phone. It's fairly legal. But he's still. Well, it's not. It is. This is a whole. Marijuana's still illegal in Kentucky, but that's irrelevant. Did you need anything from the police department?
By the way, the hemp stuff that Tennessee's trying to push right now really helps hemp farmers. And there's a bunch of hemp products that popped up, and rope and clothing made of hemp. Like there's this really cool shirt that I want to order and try out. It's expensive, but it's basically a shirt that's like guaranteed for life. If you rip it, cut it, break it, burn it. It doesn't matter. It's made of hemp, so it's a lot tougher and is guaranteed for life. You just send them in, they'll send you a new one. But that's the way they're banning everything in Tennessee that has to do with CBD and hemp and shit is going to hurt the hemp farmers as well. Again.
Yeah, I kind of want to know why y'all think I have to give you my name. And then he's running the truck, my truck to get my name. Like, well, we got 911 call. Place or nothing. We can't. Actually, you can. We can run your plate because we got a 911 call here. That's what I'm asking. I know, but we still have to tell them we're obligated to tell them to give my name. Huh? Doesn't have to give me my name. Well, yeah, you have to identify yourself to go if a crime's occurring here. How are we going to know who's involved? You see? Well, we smell one.
What if a crime occurred here? How are we going to know who's involved?
Being committed. You smell would be committed? Yeah, possession of marijuana. I have reason to believe there's marijuana in there. That is a crime. Yeah. Well, it smells like marijuana, so I have probable cause to believe that it is. Well, now you better try to see what's in.
All because people are scared to death that someone else is going to make their property less valuable. That's the whole reason homeowners associations exist. My aunt, when we went to visit in Florida, like their community was actually really good. Like they used the money for like workout centers and keep the sidewalks and mowing and landscaping. And they had a bunch of stuff going on, blah, blah, blah. But some of them are fucking nightmares, dude. All because your house might get a little bit run down and makes my house not as valuable when I go to sell it or appraise it or whatever. That's insane. Do whatever the fuck I want with my house.
Okay, let me talk to you. Fuck, man. I mean, I can call back and if you misuse the 911.
So they didn't want to talk to him. And the guy's like, well, I can call back if you guys don't want to fucking talk to me now. He's like, if you misuse the 911 system, I will arrest you. Listen.
Let's go. Okay, let me talk to you. Fuck, man. I mean, I can call back and if you misuse the 911 system, I will arrest you. I'm sorry?
I want to talk to you because you're the supervisor.
I don't have anything to say to you.
Okay.
What do you need from us?
You're a public servant, right?
What do you need from us?
I need to talk to you about what
I'm saying you're talking. What do you need from us?
Can I talk to you without them?
No.
Okay.
What do you need from us?
I just told you. If you're a smart ass, that's fine.
Huh?
If you want to be a smart ass, that's fine.
Nobody's being a smart ass. What do you need from the police department?
No reason. I just said I want to.
Have a good day, sir.
All right.
So at the end of the day, the cops left. I'm unaware of any criminal charges ever being filed against Xavier, but just the fact that it happened is just amazing to me. Sure, Xavier should not have butt-dialed the cops, especially when his house was wafting the smell of marijuana, but he actually handled the situation pretty well. He generally understood his rights, and he ended up documenting these constitutional violations while at the same time avoiding actually having to go to jail himself in order to do so. He was polite throughout, and he was a good witness for himself. The cop, on the other hand, though I don't know what his name is, or I would tell you, should be ashamed of himself, in my opinion. Not only was he rude and disrespectful during the encounter, but he was completely 100% wrong on what he said the law was. And then there's the supervisor, who should be more than ashamed. He should resign. He knew that his officer was wrong, otherwise he wouldn't have left. You could just tell that he wanted so badly to retaliate against Xavier, but he knew that they had no right to do so. You have to wonder if after the body cams turned off, if he educated his officer on the constitutional principles that he completely missed somehow up through this point in his career.
Oh, sure he did.
Public servants, and you want to fire all of your politicians, I'll put the relevant contact information below. If these are not your public servants specifically, but you want to help others fire their politicians, you can help by sharing this footage. The politicians will only care if the footage goes sufficiently viral, which it should. You can help make that happen by sharing this video, by liking it, by commenting on it, all of which will get it going in the algorithm. And
I'm sure he educated them right immediately. He educated them, I'm sure.
Is outraged. Sadly, it's usually our only real way to get accountability. As always, if I hear an update, I'll do an update video. You can follow along by subscribing both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. You can follow me on X at JohnBryanESQ. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.
I like Civil Rights Lawyer. He does a good job. So, if you don't like this new video, blame it on Dr. J. We got gang stalking videos.
Yo, what's going on, subscribers? What's up, YouTube?
Jim Hunt is dead.
Dropping a video pertaining to what I posted the other day. So the background you see is when I'm in Dollar Tree, you're gonna see how I get gang stalked everywhere, right? So
no, gang stalkers.
I was saying how I met a female through the cab app, and I'm starting to understand how they are trying to get my sexual energy, right? So like she claimed she didn't know who I was, but like I said, when you hear this clip, it'll basically let you know she had to know who I was. So, like I said, if they could compromise my relationships with family and friends and a stranger I just met through an app in my vehicle that just let me know that they sin, or if they don't sin, they pay these people. And I don't know if they doing this to make scenes. Like I said, I don't know if they're making scenes out of this and putting it on the dark web. I do not know, but
that's exactly what they're doing.
Seen since this been.
They're putting it on the hub, the dark web hub.
They all playing a role. Every female that I meet, right? So,
these are real life humans that also vote. So everybody remembers.
Situation. It was just the conversation just made it like it was planned that way. So like I said, I don't know what they do as far as, like I said, she did oral, and I don't know what she did with the semen when she went in the bathroom.
What? She gave you a blowjob and you think she stole your semen?
But later on that night, she showed me a sonogram where she was pregnant. And I'm sitting here in my head like, how can she... We're not going to get into all that, though, but it just... I don't know if she's manifesting pregnancy. And like I said, it was a tarot reading I read, and they...
Clearly, she manifests that pregnancy.
They used the semen before. Why it didn't work this time? I don't know. You know, this is some strange shit. And I'm just letting y'all...
She stole his semen, guys.
So, I'm going to drop the clip in a minute. That way you can hear what she's saying. You know, it's going to be a little explicit, but, you know, this is what I go through. You know, and I'm trying to share.
Gang stalks. Makes sense.
Give head, right? Right.
Yes, if you want what your cum look like.
No. Sorry.
Yes. Take that dick, baby. I had to fix all of that dick. It looked nice and thick, little pants. Yes, I had to get some for myself real quick, you know?
Right.
Before you ran away.
Right.
So, yeah, I got what I want. I got what I want.
Alright, so pretty much this is what I'm trying to explain to you. I really don't understand what was the purpose of her saying she had to see what my semen looked like. You know, and like I said, she did oral, so I don't know.
She don't like the way she dirty talks?
What she pretty much wanted to see what my semen looked like. But like I said, there's been some strange shit happening around me.
Makes sense.
That I can't even explain, you know, so I gotta really do certain things for me to get the results I'm looking for. But please can somebody explain what the hell is going on, because it gets to the point where I don't even want to be...
You're a lunatic.
...around nobody, because it's just weird. You know, it's like this shit really gets overwhelming.
I don't know what she did with my semen when she went to the bathroom, guys.
Alright, y'all, tell me what y'all think. And please like, share, and subscribe. Alright, y'all, peace.
God damn, dude. How fucking wild. She sent it. Dr. J sent another one. Hold on. Georgia man targeted by neighbors talking through his TV, AI voice changer, and device hacking. Could be the same guy. I don't know.
Disclaimer. In the beginning of this video, the criminal neighbors play dumb, make up a cover story, and smear the victim as crazy. Afterwards, the black man being targeted explains how they are intercepting his TV and Wi-Fi signals, speaking through his TV with an AI voice changer, and hacking his device.
I want to show you guys something. Check this out. Tell me this isn't awesome. So, another white elephant gift, right? 3D printed box. Boom. I'm 3D printing all my gift boxes for white elephant. And then look at this. How satisfying is this little box that it fits in perfectly? It barely rattles. Listen. Can't even hear it. And then you just take a nail. I've been adjusting how tight it is. Take a nail or anything, get underneath it. Look how good that fits. Well, it's bumping, but that fits perfect, dude. That fits fucking perfect, bro. So good. So satisfying. All right, back to it.
Devices.
On the morning of July
It was like a
22nd,
ninja.
2023, at approximately 7:53 a.m., police were dispatched to a residential area in Georgia to investigate a reported assault.
Another gift done. Just throw some ribbon on this, right? Or ribbon this way, tie a bow in the middle, done. Done, dude. Nice little box.
Who your neighbor? Sean? Is it Sean?
Yeah, his name is Sean, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean, the neighbor. The criminal neighbors are playing dumb.
Another neighbor called one time before.
He's an idiot. I don't know what his problem is.
What happened?
Well, we're moving to a new home. Loaded some stuff. The movers were coming for 2 hours. I was leaving and he's like, hey, come on, don't hit me. I'm like, what are you talking about? Open the door. I'm like, what's your problem? What's going on? And then he's like, oh, I see what you're doing. You're spying on my house. Blah, 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 blah.
Ooh, real crazy nut job.
He opens the door and punches me. So I get out, what's going on? He's like, punches again. So I'm thinking, should I attack? Should I? Yeah, I'm good at it. I'm a former athlete. I know how to hold myself. And I'm like, okay, fine, get the fuck out of here. I get in the car, I left, then I'm like, look at the mirror and I see my eyes get blotted. Here, you see? I just put ice on it, I calm down. So I'm like, I'm not gonna let that idiot get away with this. So apparently, then I went to my kids. What happened? Well, did you guys do something? So what they did is yesterday, my internet got cut off because I'm moving to this new place. And the kids, because they're good friends, my younger daughter is very good friends, so she had in her iPhone their Wi-Fi address, because they go come in and her daughter comes to our house, use our Wi-Fi, she goes from her phone.
Oh, he's got kids.
YouTube videos so that they could watch it at night because they get bored or whatever. That's all they did. I'm like, and you guys can check, I don't care. I mean, I don't think my daughter's that smart to do something crazy. He thinks they were spying on his house or whatever. I didn't even understand what he's talking about. Then I checked with my kids, they downloaded some videos, and I guess he got some alert or something in his thing, and he's like, oh, and assaulted me. I mean, that's all. That's really what it is.
Is the light on your head?
Yeah, that's from the first punch.
Okay, that's from the
scratch, something like that. And then there's the second one.
I saw your eye.
Yeah, so
you got your ID back there?
Yeah.
And this happened today? Yeah. But there's another incident, I think.
The one, the email that you sent us?
Well, so he was
They report for another neighbor. He talked to another neighbor.
Yeah, the other neighbor did not want to press charges in reference to that. And then there's another neighbor in here that Jennings was calling me about all last night, that there's another neighbor in here, I can't remember the dude's name right now, that lives somewhere on one of these other streets that keeps on harassing, and he is concerned.
Does anybody else live in the house? You said your daughter?
I think his wife is there.
His wife is there?
Yeah, his wife's car is there. He just left like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came in opposite directions and neither of us saw his vehicle.
Yeah, he would have leaned by now.
So where were you when did he come?
I was here. I was leaving. He cut me off. Hey, what's going on? I'm his neighbor. Yeah. I didn't understand what's going on. Otherwise, I would have just drive by if he's freaking out.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I know what you're doing. Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about? Open the door. You mother. He cuts out. Yeah. What's your mouth? What's going on? And I'm gonna slap you. And I wasn't expecting anything. And then boom, he slapped. Then I get out of the car.
I hate how she keeps going. Yeah. It's already bothering me.
Should I?
The calendar's probably not gonna be a box. I gotta do something else.
What? I mean, it's just like.
Did you see anything happen?
I just heard something. He was screaming.
You saw him screaming, but you didn't see anything happen?
There's a way, some else, but I don't think my daughters are that smart.
Well, and I don't think I mean, how old are they?
16 and he's coming. That's it.
Tier 23, the subject returning.
How you doing? Chick-fil-A?
I could roll it and put it in a tube, yeah.
The situation. My cameras and all my electronic stuff is being hacked into and messed with, and it's been going on for years. And I got a lot of evidence. Okay. Now I went over there and tried to tell him because they got to move out. Now they're forcing them to move out because I think they lost their jobs over that when people started coming down on them or whatever. So now they're still. Okay, can I show you something, sir? I'm moving very slow. He pulled something out the back. I can feel it. Where they doing it? Are you familiar?
What happened today?
Are you familiar with quantum mechanics?
No.
So these smart guys out here are doing stuff that nobody knows about because it's above. But I'm smart enough to figure it out. I figured it out, and he's involved with it too. And they're all computer programmer hackers over here. You see what I mean? So even when I'm watching my TV, they're talking through my TV. You see what I'm saying? It sounds crazy, but I got the proof of it. I recorded.
So what happened when you talked to him or whatever?
How funny would it be if those kids were really doing that? Like we're watching. We're watching you, Damon, or whatever his name is. We see what you're what. No, not Fox News. Keep going.
I got it all on camera. I've been talking with him. And then when I talked to him, I
This
said,
seems like a job for Ryan Upchurch, by the way.
the truth. He said, you know what? Boom. And then I said, well, get out and talk to me then, like that. And then he jumped out the car. And he flinched at me, and I just touched his face. And then he came at me again, like this. And I said, man, back up off me like that. And he said, and then I just touched him again. I didn't punch him, and I just slapped him. I mean, I'm not a bully, man. I could beat him to a pulp. And then when I started telling him how he doing it, using the metadata, I know exactly how he does it. So when I started telling him that, he shut up and then he drove off. So he knows what he's doing. All these people know what's going on, and I got evidence. So if you want to arrest me...
So you said he was leaving, and you went to his car?
No, I was leaving. And when he was leaving, he was talking shit coming down the driveway. And then he said yesterday he gonna kick my daughter's ass.
What happened today, though? What happened today? You said you was leaving, he was leaving. Then when you was walking, when he was riding by, you started, went to his door.
I didn't go to his door.
You just said you got the car.
You talking about his door, like my door?
Car door while I was in the road.
Yeah, well, he rolled his window down. When I was saying they couldn't talk to me, when I came on this side, he was talking trash, and then he rolled his window up. So I said, well, get out the car then. And then he got out the car. And then there wasn't no fight.
When he got the car?
No, he flinched at me. So it's just that, man. I got a camera system, bro. Look,
he flinched at
I
me.
ain't even got to argue, talk about it or nothing.
You able to pull it up or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm able to show you all this evidence.
Can I see it?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Let's see it for you, brother. Give me a moment. Let me open my door. Do you mind if I back my vehicle up? No. There's a Bluetooth around here. There's L. People can name their Bluetooth whatever they want to. They just tell people do like that. You guys
You mind looking? You see what you're talking about?
My Swan camera?
Oh, that's you pulling up. I got you.
Yeah. And but actually my wife has all the stuff that get on that. And she's not here now.
Where is she?
She took the kids to a hotel last
Ah, so he is in a weird episode.
Something happened between y'all for her to take the kid?
No, nothing happened between us. Not at all. They went to go get a dog and came home, and she just felt like she wanted to go. She said she didn't feel comfortable coming home because they hearing all this bull crap going on too.
They know you're crazy. That is sad.
Yeah, we just got a new van. So that's the car. Okay. We just got her van and then gave that car to my son. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and I've been running a business by myself, and they've been purposely. I think some of these people are off jobs because they got cops spying and doing inappropriate stuff. I don't even know what's going on because I know the government. Everybody came in here at one point and then they left. You understand what I'm saying? Like the FBI, GBI, all of them came in here, I believe, and they left. But what I'm saying is there is like constant people, negative shit coming at me, and I'm like, why?
Trying to make the fit of this perfect.
When I've been sitting back watching for 3-4 years, you know what I mean? So
easy enough to open where it's not frustrating, but also it doesn't fall apart if you shake it. I think I got it.
So it's like a Bluetooth thing. You know how the technology is going on right now. They Bluetooth and shit, and people driving by talking through the Bluetooth talking track.
People driving by talking through the Bluetooth on his TV talking trash. I don't think he's on drugs. I think it's a fucking weird manic something, BPD something.
It's picking up and it's running through the speakers. Yeah, they're doing it, and then even in my car.
And his wife left him. That probably made an episode he was already in much worse.
You can start my car.
He lives in too nice a place to be a fucking drug addict. Look at these houses.
And you can
$500,000 homes at least.
Talking into it, and then I can hear it in my car. They'll ride by me on their phone and be like, Sean, you. And then there's a delay, and then I hear, Sean, you see what I'm trying to tell you?
I hear you.
And then sometimes the AI that they use, it cuts off on them, and then I can hear their real voice. You see what I'm saying? So
AI voice changer, then I can hear the real voice.
And that's when you hear his voice come through.
So you saying they disguise their voice at first?
Yeah, and then you break the thing down, and then their real voice come through. So they got it, but then when I said metadata and how they're doing it, because I had to go to school and learn, so when you go into the firewalls and the stuff on there, I know exactly how they're used.
So he didn't go to school and learn. He's watched YouTube or something.
And they're running it through YouTube.
And doesn't really understand it.
They're, you know how YouTube can be shared and linked? That's how they're doing it. And they're linking it. And there's like what you call a chain. And they're chaining it through the houses to where everything can be chained to the street. Okay? So everybody on the street can drive by. So all night, all morning, these cars driving by talking. So then what I do is I get in my truck and I drive by them. And then I hear them, but as they drive by, I hear them talking shit. Some of you police officers be talking shit, you know. But anyway.
So did he ever lay hands on you when like he flinched at you and stuff like you were saying, or no? Or was it only you that like did like you were saying like, he didn't, like you said you didn't punch him or nothing?
I didn't punch him or nothing.
I know, but like you said that you slapped him or like, that motion
slapped him. Does he have a mark on his face? Did he put it there?
That's what I can tell you. We're trying to figure that out.
See? And see what I mean? They live in this house. And she's coming out of his house right now. The lady behind me. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. You see that?
She walked up when we was here.
Yeah. But they all in it together.
Oh, neighbors are friendly.
Huh?
Neighbors are friendly with each other, yeah.
I get what y'all getting at.
Yeah, I'm saying, she just actually just being nosy. She ain't got nothing to do with it. She just being nosy because we was outside.
At least the cop's on it. She's just being nosy. She ain't got nothing to do with it.
She just walked up, asking what's going on. You get that?
Yeah, I get that. I recognize your voice too.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying nothing to you. My first time meeting.
Understand?
I recognize the cop's voice too. Oh, shit.
I told him I explained it to him.
Okay.
He about to leave though in like 2 days. That's why he really mad. But anyway, Sergeant, I heard everything you said, Sergeant.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Where do we go from here? Oh, God, I want more.
Nah, I mean, I don't know what they told you.
Huh?
So I don't know what they told you, but.
You're going to jail for assault.
Which direction are we going?
It ain't no.
Are you doing a ticket or we?
You can do city discount or something.
I mean, I don't know. You think? Get your license on you?
I would do that at least. And then that way.
And it can be dealt with here.
What you said? The dude looking at me.
Well, yes. So, but he did put hand on him. He's got marks. But the thing is I would at least.
Yeah. So I think city
Without a witness, you said.
discount will be just fine because that way it keeps it in the city. We can get court involved, and then he's not going here. Almost Schaefer mandates that.
At least that way.
Y'all already told me that?
He needs a trained gun. Honestly, some sleep would probably do him good. His wife left him yesterday after they picked up a dog, said she didn't feel comfortable going home. I bet she hasn't slept since then.
Let me get your name, sir.
He hasn't slept since then.
Sean.
If you can't find out,
Yeah, it's in here on my little binder. I'm sorry about that.
So what we're gonna do now, right? I'm charging you with disorderly conduct, all right? I'm gonna give you a citation, and then you have to pay for court. Okay. All right.
And listen, it's because he's got this place on his face and he's got this place in his eye, okay? He's got marks on his face and everything. And we're being honest with you, okay? And we need you to stay away from him. We know he's moving and all this mess, okay? You're not going to jail.
Right.
Okay, we're giving you a ticket, kind of like if you had an accident.
Right.
We're giving you a ticket to come to court, so that you can tell the judge what happened this morning, and the judge can say you shouldn't have this ticket, or you should have the ticket. Okay.
Well, can you? How you going? When is the court date going to be? Because I need about another month. Because I'm about to coordinate with DOJ and.
So it's August 22nd at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay.
Okay. And for whatever reason, if you came at that court, they just call down and be like, I need to change my court.
Yeah, you can. They'll give you another one.
Can you just pay the ticket and not show up, or you have to show up?
You gotta show up.
It's gotta show up.
Yeah, you gotta show up.
Despite the lack of video evidence, officers charged Sean with disorderly conduct based on the victim's visible injuries and his own admission. He was issued a citation for violating a city ordinance and given a court date.
So the first of this video, the neighbors play dumb made of it. So the person who in charge of this YouTube channel also believes he'd be in gang stalk. Listen. In the beginning of this
video, the criminal neighbors play dumb, make up a cover story, and smear the victim as crazy. Afterwards, the black man being targeted explains how they are intercepting his TV and Wi-Fi signals, speaking through his TV with an AI voice changer and hacking his devices.
On the morning of July 22nd.
So whoever's channel this is, they believe in the gang stalking thing too, obviously. Saying they're playing dumb and F-scene trafficking, child sacrifice, SRO, psychic spy, my lab, military lab, Nazi network survivor. Oh my God, it's a lot of things.
Okay, hi. I just wanted to make this one last video. I'm going to be stopping using this account for TikTok. So if you're seeing this, this is my last post. I just want to make sure that I'm safe. I'm in the process of some really tough, sticky situation kind of shit. I believe that the feds are stalking me and that they are my main traffickers. And I know it's controversial to say out loud, but I am pretty certain at this point that the main human traffickers that I had in my upbringing that are still stalking me on every app that I have on my phone, every phone call, every screenshot, my photos that get photoshopped.
The problem is these people think it's life and death. And they're staying awake, they're fixated on this, and you don't know if they've been fixated on this for fucking 5 years or 5 minutes. So when you come into their life, let's say you work for trash pickup or a sprinkler service or mowing their lawn or doing their cable or bump into them at the fucking grocery store. And when their brain switches that you're one of the agents, they might do anything. Attack, lash out, they might do any fucking thing. So it's hard to live around these people, much less be like married to one.
All of it, I'm pretty certain that it's not a specific ring of traffickers, but rather it's...
I joined a group a while back early on the show, I joined a stalking group, and I had them convinced that they had replaced my wife with a CIA agent. And she was reporting back, and they were like, yeah, man, happens all the time. We hear you. You're here now. We love you. We're going to help you get through this. Like, they're fucking lunatics, dude. And then they'll do shit like, they'll drive down the interstate at 80 goddamn miles an hour. And if they're passing cars, they're like, see, the agent's right here. They're driving slow so they can look at my car. And then they'll do like fucking 40 miles an hour and cars passing them. They're like, see, agents driving by, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're passing them or they're getting passed. It's still the agents, right? It's just so wild. Yeah, they'll count certain color cars. That's the third red car I've seen today. Yeah, red's a fucking popular color, bro. Like just crazy shit.
It's the top ring of traffickers, which is the feds. And I'm just going to say that out in the open now. I am quitting Facebook now, too, officially, because I'm too scared that it is a number one way for me to be stalked and for my location to be found, etc. And my mother committed fraud in my name, and so now...
I told them that Mariah went away for several weeks when we first got married to some camp or something her mom had planned. And I believe they had switched her out for a CIA agent, and they've been following me ever since. They have her report on me. I told them crazy stories, like I found a broken device. One night I came in, and she was like pretending to be asleep, but I could tell she was moving. And when I went to use the bathroom and came back, she was not moving anymore. And I waited for her to fall asleep and dug under the mattress, and I found a cell phone like broken in half, and I couldn't figure out how to get the data out of it. Like I just made up all kinds of crazy shit. And they're like, yep, happens all the time, man. Now you see what we live with. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It was like I couldn't make up a story too crazy. And I did all this on a show. I was like, here's what I've been doing for the last fucking month. I've been part of the gang stalking community. I convinced them that random neighbors were stalking them. Like I did some really it's a wonder we didn't get somebody killed, to be honest with you. Like I did some fucked up shit that I probably wouldn't do now looking back on it, but...
Now my credit is too bad to do anything with, and so I know this is a controversial post to put out there, but it's my last post for a while, and I have no idea what to do for future anything with sharing to the public what's going on. But I think this is important.
I was in a it wasn't Telegram, I think it was Signal or something like Signal. We was in a Signal group specifically about how to set booby traps up underneath your fucking floorboards in your roof and shit. Like it got wild.
I think people think that once you're out, you're safe, and the truth is, it's scary. It is scary, and you have.
Then I found the pedal pumpers group, and I never looked back.
To flip everything in your life. I've met survivors who have literally flipped like all their belongings, their cars, their home insurance. I mean, you name it, like literally everything that they had on record, they've had to flip and put in a different name and whatever. And I've asked the FBI, can you help me get a new name? And they've just said, we don't have a case number for you. And
yeah, you can't just call the FBI and say, can you help me get a new name? Birth certificate and social security number. That's not what they do.
Know that it's connected because I've talked to other people who literally talk to the FBI directly and know that they've talked about me, and I'm just being neglected as a case. And this is common for people like me. I don't know if it's because of my bloodline ties. I don't know what it is for sure, but I will just come out and say it in the open that it's fucked me up to the point where I don't know how to get housing or to do very much on my own, and it forces people to live underground. And for those that have lived underground their entire lives, and people have not been able to relate to them, understand why does so-and-so only ever work under the table, this is why. Because it's such bullshit to find out that like I have to be able to afford everything 2 or 3 times over because of how often things get hacked. And I have to change everywhere that I go because of how often I find a car following me or a person following me. That's just creepy. It's just creepy. And I moved states away to avoid this when I was 18, and I have not found ways to avoid it. And I still need to move. But now it's even worse than it was before. And I don't want people to think that this isn't real. It's very real. The feds do stalk people, and I'm one of them. Good morning, everybody. My name is Camille May Shoquist. I want to give you the raw, uncut, okay? I've been made aware by the targeted individual community that some know about satanic ritual abuse agendas in organizations around the world, and some don't. And this is a topic I'm still diving into when it comes to the thoroughness of the subject. I'm not the most thorough. However, I've been through quite a lot, and so I'd like to tell you guys my story. Some of you are aware that I made a story post back in 2022, maybe 2021. The memories kind of escaped me with a year there because it was so stressful. So I'll just bring you guys into this the way that I was brought into this, okay? At age 24, I dropped out of college because my professors told me my brain was going. They basically said I wasn't thinking clearly anymore. And I knew that I had some kind of...
The professors told you your brain was going.
Torment going on, but I wasn't aware exactly of how deep it went. And all my life, I knew that my parents were narcissists, but I couldn't really figure it out past that because I was brainwashed consistently, and I got woken up to that in 2021. A friend of mine reached out from the past. She reminded me that I have dissociative identity disorder, or rather that I had that disorder, to her knowledge, and she told me to seek help, as well as reminded me of a lot of trauma. I went into immediate PTSD, and then the next 5 years, up until now, I spent learning.
Immediate PTSD. I recovered a memory and went into immediate PTSD.
About my body and my trauma and my PTSD, as well as all the ailments that were inflicted onto me basically because of this trauma, right? So I'll bring you guys back 0 through 21 years old because those are all the years of my abuse. And then I'll first explain what happened through this PTSD awakening, if you can call it that, right? Number one, I want to say that with Jesus Christ, I was completely safe my whole life. However, I was unaware that I was saved by Jesus the whole time. I thought that the Holy Spirit was something I had to hang on to dear life for in order to survive my life, because my life was so heinous growing up. And so I basically created these personalities to become so that I could survive.
Oh my God. Dr. J, who was the guy that got separated from the other live streamers he was with? And we were convincing him that the cops are after him. And we had him run it. We were telling him what roads to take. And we got him in that tunnel. We had him go in a tunnel. That tunnel that went under the freeway. And then he popped back up. And it was his friends looking for him. But we convinced him it was the FBI in their car. Who was that guy? You know what I'm talking? Yeah, I'm not making this up. You know what I'm talking about, though, right? His friends were like, we got to find him, dude. He's so fucked up, and he's roaming around in, like, Scottsdale. And we're like, it's not your friends. The FBI stole their van. We were watching their live stream. They're after you. He was running, and we were in his chat. My whole audience was in his chat, and I'd be like, all right, tell him to make the next left. And we'd be like, left. We could see it. Holy shit, that was fun. And we convinced him to go down in that tunnel, that drainage tunnel, and he popped out the other side. He was like at an apartment complex. Oh, that was crazy, dude.
And that is what dissociative identity disorder really is. Multiple personality disorder is not about...
God, that was insane.
It's about other people abusing people into specific people that they want to exist, and not the real thing. The real thing always believes in Jesus Christ. The fake versions of me, the versions of me that I created through these people who abused me. And I say that knowing that there's a responsibility that one takes.
Sometimes we latch on to somebody pretty hard and do like... we don't have the capacity right now. We used to have a bigger audience, but you don't have the capacity right now. But we still go like do shit with Bert, and I'll be like in Discord telling people like type this in chat, and everybody type it 10, 15, 20 times. That's pretty funny. One guy, there was a podcast on Facebook called the Gabe Real Podcast, because the guy's name's Gabriel. And I called into it, and my audience was in the chat. And it were you Team Trump or Team Hillary, or Team Trump or Team Biden, maybe? And I told him I was Team COVID. And then I'd been walking around just spitting on people all day. I don't remember all that happened there, but I still see his podcast pop up every once in a while. He's got a female co-host now. Gabe Real. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. It was a really funny skit. I don't know. Do I still have that on the channel? It was a really funny, and there were people in the chat just talking all kinds of shit at the same time. And he's like, what is going on with my chat? He didn't have hardly any viewers. And I was going, like, making spitting noises the whole time. I was like, I got another one. But he's like, what is going on with my chat? We had coordinated what was being said in chat. I can't remember the whole thing, but it was funny. That night was funny.
I say I'm going to be this person because I don't know how to exist otherwise. So take that lightly if you need to, right? But for me, it's clear to me that these personalities were both groomed into me, but I also accepted them and then ran with them, expecting that that was the only way to survive because I forgot how powerful Jesus Christ was and is. So, age 24, it's 2021, it's October/November, and I'm starting to talk to this friend again. The first phone call that we have, she says, Camille, do you remember your parents are human traffickers? Do you know who your stalkers are?
Do you remember your parents were human traffickers? It was the very first show. Yes, it was the first show he ever took call-ins, and I was like the second person to ever call in. And it was fucking wild, dude. He was not expecting that. I could tell you that much.
Do you have any gang stalking, and are you safe? I knew no answers to those questions other than, yes, my parents are human traffickers. She asked me, do you remember you had an abortion when you were 12? And I said, yes, and it came out really quickly. And then I was scared. It was my dad's baby. Oh my God. It was my dad's baby. Oh my God. I was 12. They hid it. They gave me a pixie cup. I was in the Del Rey Motel in Ciudad Juarez, but like south, and it was very, very difficult to wake up and realize.
Sure you did.
I was totally brainwashed out of remembering who I was. My family brainwashed me, as well as other adults. And there's a whole bunch of history to that I had to sort of unpack as soon as I woke up, right? So it's already 4 minutes, and I'm going to be conscientious here and put this into parts for you guys, okay? But generally speaking, I woke up and realized I had a ton of PTSD. Not only that, but I realized I had a section of my body, an entire section of my body that I couldn't feel clearly. It was between my knees and I would say my breast or my chest, maybe a clavicle region. Couldn't really feel those easily. I could touch it, but I couldn't really understand what was supposed to be here. And to my understanding, I became an underdeveloped adult through the amount of stress that I went through. And to my understanding as well, there is the capacity for adults to heal from being underdeveloped and tortured, and so I started researching that. And so as 2022 came around, I had made reports to the FBI. I went in to the Gunnison Police Department for an hour and a half to speak with an FBI representative from Buena Vista through Grand Junction. They work in sections apparently, and so that's what I did. I spoke to him. I told him my whole story, ages 0 through 18, what I could remember after having a few months of regaining those memories. And I was neglected. Nobody has called me since. It's 2025, right? Like, they would have called by now if they wanted to let me know how to be safe. So there's something going on there, right? And most of us who are a part of the targeted individual community, we are aware that there are some things like this where it's difficult for us to figure out what's going on in our lives, who the stalkers are, and why, we've had torture put upon us until we understand the fullness of Jesus Christ and what he does for us. And so I'm just going to put that in here as part of my testimony. To me, it all became clearer. Even though I could gain clarity with my PTSD and what happened to me, even though I could write down to you guys the story of 0 through 21 and how I was abused and what was going on during all those times of my life, I still know that I gained the most clarity with why I was going through what I was going through and what exactly the agendas were of these people through waking up. Because
oh shit, I just found that one of the first shows I did about my mayor, that's up on my old channel now. I forgot about some of this stuff even existed.
Jesus Christ saved me after I was baptized in his name. So just to put all that out there, okay? 6:28.5 on this video. I'm going to cut this short. And if you guys want to listen to my story, I'm happy to tell it. And I'm going to be telling it in parts here, in sections from ages 0 through 21. What did I go through? And then afterwards, I will tell you.
Yeah, I can't handle her anymore. Your friend didn't just call you and then suddenly you remembered that you had your dad's baby. Like, get the fuck out of here.
All right, so Nick Fuentes has reignited.
No, not the beer place. When this was in Unicoi, which is like, I live in Unicoi County, and there's 2 cities in this county. Irwin has been here forever since it was a county. And then the other one is a much smaller, more rural area called Unicoi, named after the county. And they've only been a city since like after I was in high school. So they've only been an incorporated city not very long. But there was basically an argument that happened there. The mayor started yelling at people, calling them hooligans. The other guy started threatening to meet them out in the parking lot. It was just a whole crazy fucking audio thing.
The right-wing civil war, but he's actually going after somebody who is nominally on his side here. So he goes after Tucker Carlson. He's done it in the past, but he goes after him probably more aggressively than I've seen to this point. So here we go. Let's watch this one and we'll break it down.
And anyway, Tucker goes on All In this weekend, and it's so telling.
There was like anonymous letters sent that were calling people out and shit. The guy gets pissed. I don't know. I would like to go. I don't want to really watch my old show because I had a lot of different beliefs then and I don't want to agree with them now. But I would like to get that audio out of that. That would be awesome.
He does this big monologue and says that white identity politics is evil. He finally says it. And by the way, I have been warning you about this for years. For years. When Tucker Carlson was talking about white grievance politics, I would always go back to, yes, Tucker will acknowledge the grievances of the white man, but what is his solution? Because he has repeatedly said for years that white identity politics is evil. Repeatedly. He has said adamantly that he is ideologically opposed to all identity politics. He says it frequently, explicitly, clearly. He says, I believe in universal principles. I believe in a colorblind meritocracy. I think that mass migration and replacement migration has nothing to do with race. It has to do with voting rights. He says that the problem in the country is not racial. It is ideological. It is cultural. It's anything other than that. And he has said that when somebody comes forward and supports white identity and says, I'm the white man, vote for me, Tucker said, I'm going to say F you because that's Nazism and that's evil.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
And I told you that for years. And people said to me, well, why are you bickering with him? Why are you creating drama? Why are you fighting? Don't we like Tucker? I said, pay attention, listen. Well, Tucker went mask off this weekend on All In, and he said it as clearly as I've ever heard him say it. He said,
I love how he categorizes that as mask off. He went mask off and said, I'm not racist. You believe that? This asshole said he believes in universal principles? I can't believe he went mask off like that, bro. No, mask off is reserved for, like, you're saying the thing that, like, is universally agreed to be bad, to be extreme, to be wild. Oh my God, did you just say that? This is like, congratulations, Tucker. You now took the side of 90% of the American people. This is Nick, like, Nick's dating himself here. He's dating himself here. But by the way, yet Tucker, he goes right up to the ledge and then stops and then backs away. And Nick is right about that. That Tucker will make the arguments that point in the direction of being racist, right? But then at the last minute he's like, but how can anybody be racist? Well, I don't know. Maybe because you've been making arguments for 10 years straight that point to the direction of racism is actually good. So that's why, like, your own audience, you radicalize your own audience, and now your own audience is going to look at you and go, well, hold on. Nick's just taking it to its logical conclusion. You're not. Why are you doing that? So he's got a point in that respect. He's got a point in that respect that you can't, like, feed this beast and then be surprised when the beast turns on you.
That my problem is that I'm in favor of white identity politics, which he says is no different than any other identity politics. And he says it's evil. He says we need to steer people away from that. He says it's no different than when people engage in it, when the left engages in it, and that's reprehensible and that's evil. He's against it. And you know what? There is some truth in that. White identity politics, it is exactly like all the other species of identity politics.
Okay, well then here's a question. Why is it unacceptable when Israel does it, but you like it when we do it? In fact, Nick said this on Piers Morgan's show. He said, my politics are like the politics of the right-wingers in Israel. Well, they're creating an ethno-state. They are a group of supremacists. They want a greater Israel. They want first-class citizenship and second-class citizenship, and their logic leads to an exterminationism towards Palestinians and Arabs. You criticize them when they do it, but you say, I'm actually jealous. I actually want to do that here. So evil when they do it, great when we do it. That doesn't make sense.
And you know what I like to say? I like to call it taking your own side. Black people have been playing identity politics for 100 years.
Why isn't taking your own side just being pro-American, though? Like, I genuinely and sincerely don't give a shit about religious differences, ethnic differences. If you're an American, you're American. We're on the same team. Right? We're equal under the same laws. We abide by the same constitution. So that's my team. My team is American, right? And so why divvy it up along racial lines? That's so arbitrary to me. It's as arbitrary as saying we're going to divvy it up along eye color.
Clearly you don't know the Jews are in charge, idiot.
Lines. It's just like everybody would look at that like, okay, that's weird. Well, that's how we look at it when it comes to race as well.
I like to call it taking your own side. Black people have been playing identity politics for 100 years. And that's why nobody says the N-word, because they're
you know, Nick, the reason why there's been a lot of identity politics in the black community and minority communities in general in this country is because when you are not the dominant group, when you're a minority group, in order to survive, they had to play identity politics, as you call it. When you're looking at a system that gave you slavery and segregation and Jim Crow and redlining and not equal employment opportunities and no generational wealth, when you look at that system, you can't afford to just act as an individual. No, you gotta advocate for the group because they are equally being oppressed against. All of them are being oppressed equally together, and so they fight back together. So it is actually understandable. I'm against identity politics, but to the extent they're okay, in any circumstance they're okay, the best one I could come up with is you're a group that is a minority group and you're oppressed.
A super marginalized group, yeah.
In that scenario, at least I understand why, the impulse to think in an identity.
But when the group in power starts doing it, that's just more oppression.
Context, right? It is more understandable in that scenario. It is not understandable when you are the dominant group, because the dominant group, identity politics leads to Nazi Germany, leads to the Armenian genocide, leads to the Greater Israel Project and the genocide in Gaza. That's what it leads to, because you already have the power. You know, you already have the power, you already control the system, you're already the dominant group. So if you start getting obsessed with your identity in that scenario, that's really just a battle cry to be exterminationist and to eliminate all the minority groups.
Because blacks have cultural cachet, political cachet. When too many black people get arrested for committing crimes, they will burn down the city and get the police defunded. And now black people can do whatever they want.
I love the whole, I've seen this so much on the right, that they're defunding the police everywhere. Then you actually go check the numbers and like the police budgets have gone up. And you're going, okay, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You said it's being defunded. I went and checked and the police budgets are not being defunded. If anything, they're going up.
I think he craves attention. That's why he says wild shit or whatever. He loves the attention.
This perpetual victim thing on the right where they act like they're...
And there's something weird about rich people where they just can't quit. Like they'd always be richer, most of them.
But they're actually winning with everything. They have the presidency, they have the House, they have the Senate, they have the judicial branch. You know, they have fully funded police departments. They're going, where they've defunded the police. No, they haven't.
They're looking out for their own people. They're taking their own side. They recognize that they have distinct interests as a people. And that's why they're getting payments. That's why they're getting payments in Evanston. That's why they're getting reparations in certain municipalities. It is literally now a political policy to take money from white people and give it to black people because they take their own side.
So I actually looked that up when I first watched this. I was like, what the fuck's he talking about? So I actually looked it up. And in most of the cases, what he's talking about is like literal task forces being made about reparations. You know what a task force is? A task force is when the politician doesn't actually want to do anything. And so they, to try to quell any chatter, any disagreement, any talk about this, hey, why aren't you doing anything about this? They go, we're setting up this task force to look into it and come to conclusions and give recommendations about what policy to pursue going forward. And so that's what will happen. There'll be a report that says, hey, here are the historic evils done against black people. The end result is they're out on X amount of money economically, and it's a problem and it needs to be addressed, and we should take action, yada, yada. And we did a report about the need for reparations, and we are on it. But nothing will happen. Nothing will come from that. Could you imagine whining and bitching and moaning in the year 2025 about how the real problem with this country is that black people are getting reparations that they're not fucking getting? I mean, seriously, stop it. We're living in a country. Trump has gone full mask off, the most corrupt motherfucker on the planet, robbing his own supporters to the tune of billions of dollars for his crypto fucking shitcoin. We have concentration camps, rounding up innocent people, getting rid of due process, blowing off judges' decisions, warmongering in fucking Venezuela, bombing Iran, bombing Yemen, bombing Somalia, invading U.S. cities with the U.S. military. Got all this going on. And what is fucking Nick Fuentes talking about? Reparations that aren't happening because there's some fucking town somewhere that did a task force, which is going to lead to nothing, by the way.
They don't vote for somebody that they consider to be racist. They are pro-black because they are black, and they know that as black people they have distinct interests, and they fight for them. The same is true with Jews. Jews play identity politics.
Yeah, and your argument is it's bad when black people do it, it's bad when Jews do it, but it's good when we do it. That doesn't add up. That doesn't make sense. I'm against identity politics across the board. I think we're all Americans. We should go with that as the guiding principle. But again, to the extent they ever make sense, if you're an oppressed minority group, I understand why you would play identity politics in that scenario. Not if you're the dominant group. And we are. We're the dominant group. It's that simple. It's that simple. But anyway, he goes on here, but I'm still not done because he actually, man, this one here, he somehow makes it worse. He makes it worse. So here's where he goes off on how, honestly, I don't even give a shit about the economy. This is like, he's done this before where he accidentally tells the truth and, lets the cat out of the bag. And it's like, bro, you were a little too honest on that one. This was one you probably should have not said in front of the camera. This is one that you say behind the scenes. He's done this before. I'm blanking on what the issue was, but let's listen.
The difference is that I care about the country. That's why I talk about white genocide. Because that is what is happening in the country.
Oh, we know what he did this on? This is what I was thinking of. He did this with the genocide in Gaza. He did this whole, he admitted to, on his show, to
it was just anti-Jewish.
That we don't really care about what's happening in Gaza. Like, I don't really care about Palestinians, but we're going to use it. We're going to use it to target the Jews, basically. Again, that's the one a little too honest, because then all the times he virtue signals like he cares about Gaza. All you got to do is play that clip and go, he doesn't even care. He's just using this. All right, but this one is just as insane, if not more insane.
The difference is that I care about the country. That's why I talk about white genocide. Because that is what's happening in the country. Nothing else matters. People talk about housing prices. Dude, fuck housing prices. Our race is dying.
Quote, fuck housing prices. My name is Nick Fuentes. I like talking about politics and economics, and also I don't give a shit about housing prices. I don't give a shit about the stuff that most Americans are actually obsessed with, and the reason why they're furious right now. As much as I'd like to say, oh, it's definitely, the Epstein files.
But Nick finds all this support being the outside guy, the guy that people hate, the guy that you can't mention his name, you can't have him on his show. That's what drives fucking people to him. So he's kind of playing his part as well.
They're definitely the illegal war.
I need to find that niche where I can get in there and be hated, be loved. I don't care. As long as I get a bunch of fucking people watching and a bunch of money.
Mongering and stuff. As much as I'd love to say that, no, Americans are turning on Trump, first and foremost, because the economy is in the shitter. And here's the leading white nationalist in the country going, fuck you, I don't give a fuck about the economy. It gets worse.
I don't care if houses cost $1 million. It would be worth it if we lived in a white country. We are living in Africa. We are living in Mexico. We are living in a Middle Eastern bazaar. We are living in India.
Genuinely insane. To say, completely insane. You don't care if every house costs $1 million. You just want to live around white people. That is so fucking telling. It is so fucking telling. Dude, there are places in Appalachia that are fucking 98% white, right?
Yeah, I live in one.
How they doing? It turns out economics is actually a super important thing that you can't just poo-poo. You can't just swat to the side. This is core to quality of life. This is core to happiness. This is core to having a functional, civilized society. But from his own mouth, fuck the economy, fuck housing prices. I don't care if every house is $1 million. I just say fuck the blacks and fuck the Jews and fuck the Mexicans.
And nothing else matters.
I rest my case. Would you rather make a good, decent living and be happy and live with Hispanic people and live with black people and live with Indians and Jews? Or would you rather be fucking dirt poor and not have a pot to piss in what your neighbors want?
So the administration thinks there's going to be a release. There's been leaks that basically every Trump ally of any kind of prominence has been told to make a bunch of fuss about everything else besides the Epstein files.
White. I mean, I know how virtually everybody's going to answer
that. And I think it's telling that Dan Bongino's leaving around the same time.
Then you have mental problems. You're just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
And people go, gee, I think it's the housing prices. I think it's because of Thanksgiving turkey is up 10%. That's not the problem. People say it's because of the housing prices and Gamergate or whatever.
Gamergate?
Or we need libs of TikTok in the White House. We need libs of TikTok on steroids. Dude, our race is being genocided. It's over.
Again, our race. Homie acts like his last name isn't Fuentes and his dad isn't part Mexican, and he acts like he's not Catholic, when literally Catholics were also on the bad end of the white nationalist deal. I can't. How does he not know this? Or how does he reconcile this? The Protestants were the ones who had all the power and insisted on continuing to have all the power, and Catholics were otherized like a motherfucker. When JFK won the presidency, people were going, oh shit, this is unacceptable. He's going to govern and listen to what the Pope says in the Vatican, and he's not going to listen to the American people. Catholics were otherized. It was viewed as like a weird cult. Okay? You're both Catholic and your last name is Fuentes. You wouldn't make the cut in a real white nationalist fascist society. You have to be Protestant and you have to not have the last name Fuentes. Oh my God.
White people are being shamed and guilted. We are being beat up and murdered in the streets. They want
What are you talking about?
It's gone.
Fuentes. That name come off the Mayflower, did it?
They want us to kill ourselves because we did the Holocaust. They're telling us in school, you're racist, you did the Holocaust, you're a piece of shit. Now you're going to commit suicide as a civilization.
They 100% did not say any of those things to me in school. What we were taught in school, my liberal-ass public school in New York, it's what I was taught there, which led me to correctly be pissed off about the genocide in Gaza and take the right position on the genocide in Gaza and call out the fucking ethno-supremacism of Israel, right? God, does he really, like, he's got to be he knows he's making this up, right? Like, he knows this is a bit, right? To do the whole, like, they tell you you're a racist and you're a piece of shit in school. They never fucking say any of that shit. Like, oh my God.
And someone like myself gets up and says, you know what, fuck you. Someone like me gets up and says, you know what, Jew, go back to fucking Israel with that attitude. You know what, with these black people, why don't you...
How did the Jews get in this? How did the Jews get in this? You were doing a whole spiel about fuck the economy, I just don't want to live around minorities, and now all of a sudden you're screaming at a Jewish person?
Pull up your pants, learn how to act with some decorum, put the phone off of speakerphone. We're coming up to these people and saying, hey, this is our country. Everybody's going to behave now.
Damn,
I wonder
he's
why
fucking
people
racist.
This is our country.
And I don't even know how much of this he actually believes. Like, when you see him with people like Destiny or whatever, he still spouts those, but it's almost like with like a weird, like, shit-eating grin. Like, he doesn't even fucking believe some of this shit.
But he's going to behave now.
They wonder why people support me. They wonder why they go for me and they don't go for... whatever that was at the convention, whatever's going on in MAGA world where they want 50-year mortgages and they want to bomb Iran.
This is tough talk for a guy who literally has a 6% approval rating. This is why people love me. You have a 6%, 61% of the country doesn't know who the fuck you are, and you have a 6% approval rating among those who don't know who you are. And by the way, hilarious fact, you know who has the highest favorability rating for him? Which group? Black people. I got more white people watching this show that are fans of me than there are white people that are fans of you. And I am, of course, not a white nationalist, and I fucking hate white nationalism and fascism. And I got the audience that he wants. Oh my God. I also love the thing he's like, what do you say about wars at the end? Hold on, let me hear.
World where they want 50-year mortgages and they want to bomb Iran and they want to have H-1B visas.
They want to bomb Iran. But hold on, Nick. Okay, the same argument you used about the economy, why would that not also apply to foreign policy? He was like, fuck the economy. I don't care if every house is $1 million. I just want to live in a white country. Well, wouldn't that also be like, well, I don't give a fuck about the wars. You could warmonger all you want. You can do whatever war you want. I just want to live in a white country. Why is, like, caring about the wars makes the cut, but the economy doesn't? Like, it just, none of this adds up. It doesn't add up.
And the Epstein files are going to be buried under the White House. They wonder why. They say, gee, it must be housing. Gee, it must be because the left bullied white people.
The crazy thing is he has completely and utterly misdiagnosed everything in this clip. Because yes, the reason why Trump's at a 35% approval rating, the reason why MAGA is completely falling apart is first and foremost because inflation's going up, unemployment's going up, the economy is fucking failing.
You can only lie about inflation for so long, about unemployment for so long, about the price of everything for so long, about stagnant wages for so long, and then eventually people's bank accounts are empty, and they're like, it can't be that fucking good because I can't afford it.
The trade war is backfiring colossally. We're alienated and isolated from the world. It's only going to get worse. Trump, because of Trump, we've now had a decline in manufacturing for like every month straight that he's been in office now. He killed literally 800,000 manufacturing jobs that Biden was going to bring back. And so that's at the core of it, is the economy stuff. Everything else is just, everything else is ancillary. Like, it actually is the case that the Epstein file stuff hurt him, but not as much as the economy stuff. It actually is the case that destroying the East Wing of the White House hurt him, and building that ballroom is hurting him, but not as much as the economy stuff. He could get away with much more of this if the economy was okay, right? He can get away with much more of it.
That's
now
true.
we're even at the point where the Rob Reiner thing is pissed off right-wingers. Why? It's not really because of Rob Reiner. It's not really because Trump's an asshole. He's always been a fucking asshole, right? The core of it is, I can't pay my fucking bills. The core of it is, my electricity bill went up 13%. The core of it is, coffee went up over 50%. The core of it is, beef and all these things are up double fucking digits inflation. The core of it is, I can't pay my bills at all anymore. That's the core. So the other stuff is ancillary, and what's Nick Fuentes' answer? Fuck the economy. I don't care if every house is $1 million. All I care about is living in a white country. Okay, well, that very solidly puts you out of lockstep with virtually everybody in the country. So I hope everybody hears this.
Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out.
All right, chat. I got to go. It's after 1 a.m. here, and I've been going to bed super late. I'm going to try to go to bed earlier tonight. I've been going to bed till like 4, 5, 6 a.m. But when we come back, remember where we parked. We're going to watch this video. Trump's ballroom is a lie. Trump's ballroom is a lie. We're going to be watching that when we come back. That's where we're parking at tonight, chat. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, support the show. You can do that at the Just Quick Tools link, which has all the other links. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Listen to me bitch a little bit. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you on the next one. Love you. See you. Bye.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the forking balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the forking balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a sixth sense for the stupid shit. Where my true believers? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord, head to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like fool in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, eating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up.
Good night, guys.